So yeah, I have done, I mean, we were fucking snowed in, and then it was the holidays. Nobody wants to fucking do anything for the last 2 weeks of December.
Yeah.
And so I just put out a handful of like serious solo episodes. And I did that because people are always asking for those.
Yeah, they're good.
And they're kind of fun, but I like to keep the show like just changing it up. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes podcasts fun, is when you don't really know what you're getting into. So I was like, I need my homies to come over. We need to start drinking whiskey, and we need to laugh and have fun. And that's what we're fucking doing for episode whatever this is.
Game on.
Hell yeah.
So you guys are drinking Bodhisattva,
Yeah.
which in my opinion
And whiskey.
is the best beer on planet Earth.
Absolutely.
But if I drink more than 2, I'm hungover as
They're
fuck.
strong, dude. Yeah.
Like, that's what I had when we were in Montana, remember?
Yeah.
And I drank 1 or 2 and was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's-
When we were in Montana, everyone was kind of like, we weren't partying. And even me, like I was fucking laid up, not drinking, kind of, maybe just the heat.
Did you guys get the Rona?
No, we weren't sick. It wasn't like ill.
No,
it was
just like lethargic.
feeling like shit. We drank a little bit, and then
Yeah.
the whole next day we're just kicking it.
Was it hot as fuck there?
No, it was comfortable.
Yeah.
It was warm. I mean, it's Montana in the summer.
All right.
But dude, we're just getting old. Like, I have no.
You guys are getting old.
Yes, you're not.
I'm not getting
you're
old.
not- Oh, bro, tell me this though, because I mean, me.
The first thing we comment on when we get out, we went to shoot at his property this morning. And before we even get the targets set up, we're both like, my toes are cold.
Yeah.
Dude, my
Bunch of hard charging Rangers were like, hey man, are your toes cold? Yeah, my toes are cold. My toes are cold too.
my fingers hurt. Like, changing magazines is hard right now.
This sucks.
But dude, me and Foulke had an apartment together when we were in the Ranger Regiment, and even back then, Foulke was a noticeably harder partier than I was, and it wasn't uncommon for me to wake up, and we had to wake up at what, 5:30 or something. I mean, I don't remember, but we had to be.
I think we had to be there by 6, so we were probably getting
Yeah.
up at 5 or 4:45 ish.
And I'd walk out of my bedroom, and there'd be 24 beers on the counter.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, oh, Foulke was up fucking kicking
Partying.
it again.
That wasn't unusual though. In the barracks, man, you'd see like, remember Sergeant Lynch, like just walking down the hall with his 30-pack of Bush, just cruising around drinking beers. And it's like, when you're 25 or not, we weren't even 25. We were 22,
You know what's funny
maybe
is
21.
when we were 18 years old and we had like Sergeant Lynch and Sergeant Rittman, these guys that we looked up to as like almost fucking father figures.
They're 22 years old.
Yeah, they're 3 years older than you. And these guys, you look at them like they're fucking legends.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? And then like 3 years later, that was us.
Yeah.
E5s walking around the barracks while the fucking privates were like, oh my God.
It's Sergeant Anderson. He's so awesome.
The gods showed up.
But it's, you know, it's like when you're fucking 19, 20 years old and
It's the height of your impressionability.
but you're also like, you're not old enough to drink in public.
Yeah.
And back then, I mean, fuck, dude, we've already been out of the Army for 20 years. But back then, we were literally told in formation, guys, you can party as hard as you fucking want to, as long as you're inside our red fence. Because our compound was a secure compound. And like, we would rather our 18-year-old Rangers be fucking partying and getting hammered and stupid right here at home. Because then we have a little bit of oversight. Yeah. But you go out in town and act like a fucking idiot.
Get arrested.
We can't save you, you know? No one's coming to save you.
No one's coming to save you.
Although, dude, I mean, I would love maybe we'll get a fucking new generation Ranger on, someone that just ETS'd like this year. I would like to hear
That'd be awesome.
How different it is. Because they literally told us, they're like, if you guys get in a fight out in public, beat the fuck out of the person and E&E and hide. Run from the fucking cops. If you don't get caught, you're not getting in trouble with us. Plus, you're a fucking Ranger. We expect you to win fights, so you better fucking win.
There's at least a couple times. Yeah. There was at least a couple times where I was on, what was it? CQ, where you've got, you know, your man on the desk there for 24 hours. And the company had we call it 12-pack van. It's like the big half-ton Chevy, whatever, 1500 van. 12 seatbelts, right? 12 packs,
Like
12 personnel.
van.
Yeah. And you'd get a call at the CQ desk there at like 2:30 in the morning. Like, hey, who's this? It's Sergeant Foulke. Oh, Foulke, hey man. Hey, we're hiding in an alley behind the Drake. can you bring the van, come down and get, like, if you pull, I can't even remember the street names, but they give you like a side street. They'll be like, hey, if you pull up there and just flash the lights and we'll all run out from behind this dumpster. The cops are looking for us. Like, all right. Yeah. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Dude, we have tons of stories like that. I remember we were at Fort Bragg, and remember we found like we were at the unit's training facility. So it's like this secret compound that nobody knows about. And they're like, we were there for like a month, remember?
It felt like forever.
And we were locked down.
Yeah.
And we weren't allowed to go out. We weren't allowed to fucking be like, have any fucking life outside of training.
Just train.
Because that's when OPSEC
12, 14 hours a day.
Yeah, OPSEC was huge. The War on Terror just kicked off, and they were sending us to train with the CAG guys. Yeah. So it was like everything top secret. But then we found like a little logging road, or no, a fire break road, because Fort Bragg has tons of those fire breaks.
Where's Fort Bragg?
North Carolina.
Okay.
And so again, we're like, well, we got the company vans out front, and the squad leaders and the platoon sergeant, these are E6s and E7s, are like, all right, this is what we're going to do, you know? And we got a whole fucking platoon stuffed into that fucking van, and we went down that fire break road and went to, was it Southern Pines?
I think so. Didn't we cut through like a cable gate? Like we came across, it was just a single cable strung across the road, and we're like, we got bolt cutters.
And so, leaving. Again, went out, and just a whole platoon of Rangers getting fucking hammered when we're supposed to be locked down. And leadership was the ones that were kind of pushing.
They're like, yeah, hey, Foulke Anderson have a good idea. They said this fire road will take us out to town.
So we're fucking out getting hammered, and we drive back. And obviously, we didn't take any of the privates with us, because in regiment, privates are like
scum,
fucking privates,
fucking berry pickers.
So we get back at 2 a.m. The team leaders and the squad leaders are all fucking hammered. And remember, they're like,
yeah,
I'm not even gonna say his name, but Sergeant, you know who, was like,
Pete on me.
No, we're getting there next.
Wait, you're getting pissed on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We go into the private's room, and remember, he would just pick up any random piece of equipment or personal item, and he'd be like, whose is this? And all the privates are like, oh no, Sergeant's pissed off. What's this about? You know? And everybody's reluctant to say, that's mine, Sergeant. Mine. Hey, whose is this? And then one of the privates would be like, that's mine, Sergeant, and just throw it across the room and smash it. And then he'd pick up the next item. Whose is this? And so now they knew. They're like, okay, if we don't answer, we're going to get in trouble. But if we do, that item gets destroyed.
Yeah.
I said, whose is this? Another private, that's mine, Sergeant. Smash it on the ground. Just drunk fucking debauchery at fucking E6, E5, E6, E7 levels. But dude, that's like, if you don't party when you're in the platoon, you are an outcast.
Not only that, but you're pent up. Like, so that came at like the tail end of 3 weeks of relentless, out of bed at 5:30 in the morning, train till midnight, right? And then you get a brief reprieve to take a shower and go to bed, and then you get back up and you train, and it's all relentless. Like, you're not going out in town. You're not going to have any downtime. You're just range, shoot house, range, shoot house, range, over and over and over again until everybody's like, fuck my life. What do we like? We know this shoot house in and out. We know this. Like, there's only so much you can do on a 100-yard flat range. And they won't give you a chance to blow off steam. So when they finally do,
it's like it's getting blown off.
Exactly. And that's the mistake like senior leadership makes, is they keep you pent up for so long, and then they finally go, all right, we're going to go, like, remember Colorado Springs? Do you remember what a disaster that was?
Of course, dude.
And it's like, all right, we're going to give you guys 1 evening off. Don't get in trouble. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And then
how many people do you think were in fistfights within the first hour? And then Korea,
I was just going to say, Korea was the worst.
Half of Alpha Company 275 went to jail, including the company commander and the first sergeant,
who's a 4-star general now. I think he's a major general, actually.
Is he? All right.
Yeah. Major General Donahue.
Yeah.
Who was a fucking savage company commander.
Yeah, he was.
But dude, again, you're looking at your company commander like, he's in charge of the whole company. That is the fucking man. He's probably 26 years old or whatever. You know what I mean? And
so he's captain of the ship.
Yeah. He's a literal captain. That's his rank.
Okay.
And that's his company.
Yeah.
And so we all
150 dudes. He's in charge.
Fuck.
we all go
That's a lot of responsibility.
we all go drinking, and dude, we're from fucking Ranger Regiment. We don't understand how the big army really like plays the game.
No.
And so we leave base and we go to these strip clubs and we're pounding fucking sake bombs and soju. We were drinking drinking whiskey that had fucking snakes in the bottom of the bottle and shit. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Where's this? Korea?
In Korea, South Korea. Well, we didn't know, or we just chose to not listen, that all the American bases in Korea have curfew.
Oh.
So you have to be back on an American installation, I think, is it midnight?
It was like 2300 midnight. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We missed it.
We come strolling in at like 3 a.m. and the police officers.
A full bus of Rangers offloads outside the gate, and there's the MP standing there.
That's military police officers.
Yeah,
and they're like,
we're not opening this gate.
Yeah, curfew is fucking, you guys missed curfew by 2 or 3 hours. And you're going to have to answer to our superiors. My company commander's like, you open that fucking gate or you're going to go to war with a company of Rangers. He's like, I remember verbatim. He goes, we will fucking go to battle with you.
Bro, so he's yelling at us like, breach the gate. And dudes are climbing. This is in South Korea where you get shot for trying to breach defenses.
Yeah.
Dudes are climbing I remember, I won't say his name, but he's swinging on the gate and the chain. The guy's like, we'll open it. You know, and dudes are trying to climb over the razor wire and shit and getting hung up. And then I don't know how, if they opened the gate or if it finally just broke or what, but we got in. And again, I'm not going to say his name, but he's jumping. So the MPs have black and white squad cars, just like you would have here. Mm-hmm. He's jumping up and down on the hood of that thing, just screaming, I'm an airborne ranger. I'm an airborne, just smashing in the hood of this cop car. And so I remember like getting herded onto a bus and driven back to, was that called Camp Humphreys or?
Yes, it was. Okay. I don't know how the fuck you remember that. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, weird stuff sticks. But anyway, so I remember waking up in my sleeping bag the next morning and being like, oh shit. Like, you know, when you're like, last night got out of hand kind of deal. And so we all come out to like a 6 o'clock, like accountability. Let's get it every morning at 6. You got to get out front, get in formation, get accountability. And I'm looking around and it's like ghost town. And so I think Sergeant DeBusk was there with us. And I remember him sweating.
Yeah.
Didn't he throw up in formation?
I don't remember.
Our platoon sergeant, who's in charge of 40 guys, 35, 40 guys. So he's puking in formation as he's trying to figure out. And it's like literally of the company of 150, half of us aren't there. And it's like, where is everybody? And he's like, a bunch of guys got taken to the brig last night. They're in jail. We're like, oh, they're in military prison in South Korea. That's not good.
No.
You know what I mean? But I think
they did some backdoor deal because nobody ever ended up
the
getting.
The company commander and the company first sergeant were in there with them. You know what I mean? If it had been you, me, and Doc Poe in there, like the book's getting thrown at us.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But when all the company leadership is sitting in there, I think the rules change a little bit.
So to go back to when we were at the Fort Bragg facility, we get back and my platoon, or no, our squad leader, we were both in the same squad at the time.
Yeah.
We're all sharing a room.
We went to bed. This was in the morning, right?
Yeah. Well, it was in the middle of the night at some point.
No, this was like at first call.
No.
When he peed on me?
No. He walks over and opened the fridge.
Oh.
And then just full piss into the fridge, like on all of the fucking drinks and the food and shit that was in there, just like it was a urinal, right? Full piss in the fridge.
Yeah.
Then instead of going back to his rack, he went and fucking snuggled in with you. And so
in a twin size bed. This is a big man too. This is not. So I was skinny at the time. Sergeant Rittman was not a small man.
and I'm like, I woke up and I could see this, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I can't go back to bed because I have to watch.
I have to know how this ends.
What happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And fucking, it was like fucking magic. You guys woke up at the same time and you were looking at each other. And Sergeant Rittman goes, Foulke, what the fuck are you doing in my bed? And you got this like deer in the headlights look, and you looked like left and right a little bit. And then you fucking connected the dots and you said, "You're in my bed, Sergeant." and then he got the deer in the headlight looks, and he looks around and goes, "Oh shit." and then he goes, "Nobody hears about this."
Hang on. At what point did somebody pissed on my feet that night?
Well, the fridge was right at the end of your bed.
Okay.
So as he's fucking pissing in the fridge and turning and pissing on you, and
he got messed up.
yeah. So he fucking just, hey, Foulke's bed is the closest to the fridge that I just pissed in and pissed on.
This
This is my new bed.
Yeah, fucking A. It's funny. Like when you bring that story up.
Oh god.
A story of mine. I had a buddy who lived in U District, and I go down to his house to fucking hang out one day, and he's in his garage. And the house that he lives in, it's like split into other houses. You know, there's like different people who rent out the top part, the bottom, and all this different shit. And he's working on his bike, and I go, "Ev, I just drove here from fucking Arlington. I gotta take a shit, bro." And he goes, "Yeah, no problem." In there. Well, so anyway, so I fucking walk in the door. I seen some dude sitting on the couch, figured it was homie or whatever. Walk past him, go in the bathroom, take a shit, come back. Evan's not in the fucking garage anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? So I would go back in that house. No one, I don't see him. So I open the other door and I walk upstairs and he goes, "Where'd you go?" And I go, "You told me to go in the door and take a shit." He goes, "You weren't in there. The fucking light was off."
I already know where this is going.
And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Did you go to the downstairs door?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Bro, that's not my house." I go, "That's not your house?" He goes, "No, dude, I don't know those people." I go, "Someone's on the couch." He goes, "Did he see you?" I go, "No, he was watching TV." He goes, "Well, that's the dude who lives there." I go, "I just walked, like, all I could think is in my house.
You get
here right
you
now.
get fucking killed doing something like that, bro.
If you were on the couch and seeing some TV and turn around and some dude was coming out of your bathroom."
Oh, it's on. It's on, dude.
So yeah, I took a shit in some random dude's house before.
That's amazing.
Dude. Yeah, it's funny you said you're like Sergeant Rittman was a big dude, right?
Yeah.
And again, I wonder if Ranger Regiment has changed because back in this was 01. Your squad leader was in charge of your fitness.
Okay.
Period. So whoever you was the E6 that was in charge of you, or sometimes he'd delegate to the E5s, but your team leaders and your squad leader were in charge of your fitness. And we had a squad leader that loved just lifting weights and getting jacked, right? And we're like,
which was a night and day. You should preface it with the squad leader before him
was a gazelle.
Every single morning was just 5 mile run at death pace.
Yeah.
And so we went from that to
a guy that just wanted to fucking throw weight around, right?
Yeah.
Because your squad's fitness is a direct reflection of whatever the squad leader wants to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when you and I put on like 20 pounds of muscle.
Dude, it was awesome.
We went from running like gazelles every morning to like now we're just in the gym jacking steel. And then we're at that right age, like 19, 20 years old.
Our body was super receptive to it, dude. Yeah. And I remember that because there was another sergeant there that his whole thing was just fucking to the death every fucking morning. It was Sergeant Elrod's squad. Oh, yes. And remember, they would have to run the perimeter of that
masks and
3 times in a row. And the perimeter run was 3 miles. So they were
9 miles?
9 miles every morning.
Jesus Christ.
And like, we're just in the weight room lifting weights, dude. I remember thinking like, can you imagine if you were an Elrod squad, 9 miles every fucking morning, dude? Yeah. And it's like, it's just a fucking crapshoot of which squad you end up in, you know?
Yeah.
And
I bet it's more streamlined and like regimented now.
I think it's gotten like kind of codified and standardized, but I think in a good way, like they added a lot of like functional fitness type stuff to it.
Well, bro, you didn't come down to Ranger Rendezvous with us.
No.
And you should have.
I wish I did.
And so Ranger Rendezvous is it every other year? I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah.
And the whole regiment gets together. So
also, you want to talk about some disasters of like, again,
like a reunion?
Yeah, basically. And so, but it's open to current and past and present Rangers. So a whole group of us went down. What was that?
It's regimental change of command, right?
I don't remember if it was regimental change of command, but Bohannon got promoted to sergeant major.
But that's rendezvous. That event is the regimental change of command, and that's why it's every other year. And so, like for people who are listening and aren't aware of military organizations. So the 75th has the 75th Ranger Regiment is headquartered at Fort Benning, Georgia. And then you have 1st Battalion stationed at, Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah, Georgia. 2nd Battalion out here at Fort Lewis, just south of Seattle. And then 3rd Battalion at the flagpole there at Fort Benning. So really, all 3 battalions, their home station is Fort Benning, but they're I think they call them tenant units. At the 1st and 2nd Battalion are considered tenants of these other bases. So really, for the regimental change of command, it's like they bring everybody home. And so all 3 battalions converge on Fort Benning. And that's just another fuck show of like, hey, you're gonna have to do the only time in your life you have to do drill and ceremony all day in the heat, and then we're gonna turn you loose in Savannah or in Columbus tonight. Don't get in trouble though.
Yeah, fuck, dude. But dude, we went down there, and I mean, this was literally like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And dude, they opened up the arms room, and they're like, yeah, you guys can come and see the new fucking, the new weapons inventory. And we were going through like all of their shit and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, dude, you're fucking vetted. You used to be part of the unit. You're still welcome to come in. Yeah. And they have like state of the art CrossFit facilities now.
Yeah. No, I've seen pictures of it.
And they have professional fucking trainers, and everything is like super dialed in. And they've moved away. A lot of squad leaders, it wasn't just our squad leader, a lot of squad leaders wanted to just fucking run you to death every single morning. And then when the war on terror happened and they started getting feedback of like, what is functional fitness for combat? Yeah. Well, it's picking a dude up and running across a street and fucking doing buddy drags and like
climbing ladders in full kit.
Yeah, like high intensity bouts of like explosive exercise. And that's where that CrossFit methodology really took off inside of the special operations community.
Yeah. And closely linked to CrossFit, do you remember Sports Center PT?
Yeah.
So Sports Center PT was when our squad leader was hungover, and he'd be like, hey guys, we say we go in our rooms, lock the doors, turn on Sports Center,
watch a game.
And if anybody knocks on your door, don't answer it. We'd be like, Roger that, Sergeant.
Yeah, we came
Look out the window, see those other guys running 9 miles. We're like, yeah, I'm going back to bed.
We came from a squad that was just one of the squads that was to the death every single fucking day. And so to go from that to a team or a squad leader that was chill. And
but it was also at that point, we were like a senior squad. Like
almost everyone was tabbed.
Everybody was tabbed. Yeah. And it wasn't like, there was nobody that needed to be brought up to speed really at that point. Everybody kind of
knew what was going on.
Exactly.
And everybody was fit. And we all worked out on our own time too.
So, what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I know. Like, why would you have to be fit?
Are you saying that fat people aren't good at war?
Why would you? Yeah, dude. You want to know? This is what's funny.
I was like, laying a defensive position with my rifle.
Nobody wants to fucking like talk about how important it is to be healthy and being fit, dude. In the Ranger Regiment, not only it doesn't matter if you can still perform, right? If you're too fat, you're kicked out of the unit. Period. It's the fucking regimental tape test standard, dude. And we had a guy who was a stud. But he ate fucking pizza all the time and drank beer all the time. And he carried too much extra weight, dude. And they would fucking tape test guys and then they'd kick him out. And
What is that?
They literally put a tape around your belly and then a tape around your neck,
shoulders, and your neck.
There's some formula where they check several different spots of your body, and you have to be in a certain ratio allowed to pass that test.
Like body mass index type.
And there was a dude, and he was in Charlie Company. I don't even remember his name, but he went to PLDC, and they tape tested him. And they kicked him out. They said, your tape test, you failed the tape test.
You're too fat.
Too fat.
Yeah, some of those standards
he was a 300 PFT guy. He was a fucking monster. Yeah. And it's like...
But I had to go to Madigan to get tape tested. And the doc was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, they told me they said at 6'1", your max weight is like...
170 or something.
Yeah, or something. Right. And he looked at me and he goes, you don't have an ounce of fat on you. I was like, all right. They told me I had to come get tape tested. And he's like, you're fine, go.
Yeah, we both got switched to Sergeant Rittman's weightlifting squad right when we both graduated Ranger School. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So our bodies were like malnourished as fuck. And then we started lifting weights all the time. And we both blew up to like 215 or something.
I got out of the Army at 205. which
Yeah.
is crazy.
For you,
Dude,
it's
that's
fucking, yeah.
crazy.
Huge.
Dude.
I'm
What are you right now?
175 right now.
Yeah.
That's my normal, like,
Yeah, walk around, weight.
yeah.
I went to the doctor. Remember when I went to the doctor and they fucking told me I was obese?
BMI is such a BMI is
It's
bullshit, bro.
ridiculous, yeah.
Dude,
Because I mean, even right now at 6'1", I'm within a pound or two of the Army telling me that I'm overweight.
Yeah, overweight. And at the doctor, same thing. She's like, how tall are you? 5'11"? How much
Yeah.
do you weigh? And at that time, I was like, I don't know, 175, 180 or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're on the obese. I'm like, bitch, look. Do I fucking look obese?
Hey, look at this, bitch, and try not to get wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're
Exactly.
fucking abnormally jacked, dude.
I don't even work out.
Are you serious?
Dude, I haven't
Oh,
went to the
fuck.
gym since 2000.
All right, you and
Yeah,
Castro.
but you're a
can-
jiu-jitsu savage, so that's
do you do
And-
one arm pull ups
well,
and eat? That's
here's-
Castro.
here's
Doing
the
one arm
deal.
pull ups and eating cheeseburgers from McDonald's all day. Is that you?
No,
All right.
no. I don't eat cheeseburgers from McDonald's all day. I fucking forge. I swing a hammer a lot.
Yeah.
I go to jiu-jitsu a lot. Bend and lift and carry steel all day. I
so
chop,
your life is a workout.
I
Yeah.
chop fucking wood. I carry poles. Like I've been out in the snow. I got snow up to my knees. I'm chopping fucking trees down with an axe.
Yeah.
That's
Just-
why our grandfathers didn't even know what working out meant.
Yeah. At
No,
times
it's
I'll
all those-
laugh.
all in like the other day when so you chop a tree down, then you got to buck it up. And then depending on how big the fucking tree is, like if it's bigger than 16 inches, it's almost a waste to try and carry it and walk, or it's wasting too much energy.
Unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
There you go. For me, I got to chop that bitch up. But then I don't want to carry each chunk. So I'll find a spot and then I'll throw it.
Chuck them. Yeah.
Chuck them. And the other day, I must have chucked 100 fucking pieces of wood, each of them between 15 to 30 pounds. And I'm thinking CrossFit. All these people stand in a gym. They pay money to take a ball and smash it up against the wall and pick it up
Yeah.
and smash it against the wall because they're trying to replicate.
Yeah.
They're simulating. Well, for me,
But don't talk shit on that because that helps pay my bills.
dude, it's fucking great.
It's necessary too in
it is.
2022.
And for people who don't have, I'm great, or I'm lucky enough to have my own trees and my own land to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But if I lived in an apartment, if it was under any other circumstance, then I'd be at Lake Stevens CrossFit, smashing fucking balls into the wall, trying to simulate what I'm doing right now.
Bro, you want to hear something funny? Is one morning at the CrossFit gym, I had like 10 yards of gravel dumped because I was making a walkway. So I had a couple wheelbarrows and a couple shovels, and me and Scott Stillwell were fucking, it was when we were making the walkway into the jiu-jitsu entrance, right?
Yeah.
And a bunch of CrossFit people came in, and I'm like, hey, if you guys want some functional fitness today, we have a fuckload of gravel to shovel, and there's extra shovels. And they all laughed like, yeah, right. They walked in and swung a fucking kettlebell and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Swung a sledgehammer at a tire.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
man, no, I was fucking serious, dude. Like, and dude, I noticed because the dump truck didn't, like when they're re-graveling your driveway, they will drive as they're dumping to spread it out as
So
they
you
dump
just
the
have
gravel,
one big
right?
ass pile, yeah.
But when I have a very specific project where I need to take the gravel, like that walkway, they just dump it all in one pile.
Yep.
So for the first half of the day, I'm shoveling gravel that's 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, I'm shoveling gravel that is 1 foot off the ground.
Yep.
And so throughout the course of that day, you've worked a bunch of different fucking muscles, and you can feel different parts of your body fatiguing as you do it, dude.
Yep.
And I was just like, that's literally the most functional fitness you could fucking do. Nobody wanted.
No, they laughed at you. But they don't
motherfucker's
understand.
crazy.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're going to simulate what you can do in real life.
Yeah.
Wow. But they don't
dude.
grasp it.
Every once in a while, lifting weights in the garage, it'll just cross my mind. What if my great granddad could walk in here right now? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing
What is
right now?
What is a kettlebell? Only the Russians had those.
Yeah. Just grab a hay bale.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Bro,
You're-
I got a
you're
buddy.
wasting your time?
I got a buddy. He is a fucking professional fighter. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a savage. But professionally, he runs a hay business.
Yep.
Bro.
I already know.
And bro, so he cuts the hay and they fucking bale it, and then he drives this trailer around, throws it all on the trailer, and then he delivers it to the customers, and throws it off of the trailer.
Yep.
And when that motherfucker puts his hands on you,
Yep.
it's a different thing, dude.
Dude, it takes years of the repetition, because it's not just the muscle. Like you take like a pro bodybuilder, and maybe like as far as pure weight, they would outdo even me as a metal worker, right? Like Craig or anyone, they're way fucking stronger. But my like ligaments and my tendons,
Yeah. And the way you create leverage.
it's it. It's like you learn something different, and then there's that old man farmer strength that is a real fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Your average dude at Microsoft, who's the same age as that guy, he does not have hands like that.
And you can't get that at CrossFit.
You can't. That's a blue collar, good old boy, just hardworking son of a bitch who's done it for fucking 30 years. And that's one of his assets.
It's fucking scary, dude. I was like, God damn it, dude. Because it's very similar as being a ranger. Like our strength and our fitness only comes from like your workouts and the obstacle course and like things that they put you through to develop strength and fitness. But you can't replicate fuckers like you that are swinging a hammer all day. Just like you had, I won't say his name, but you had a dude come to your house and forge with you for an afternoon who's a collegiate athlete.
Yep.
And he was fucking dead.
Yeah.
In what, an hour?
An hour. And I was like, bro, we got all day. This is 8 hours.
Yeah.
And we're fucking 45 minutes in, and you say you have arm pump so bad you can't pick up the hammer. Like you can't hit where you want to hit. I mean, we're going to have to call it. If you can't swing the hammer, we can't forge.
Oh.
So I give you a little baby hammer, one that I give my grandma to put a little fucking tack in her kitchen. Yeah. And
dude, I'll sit here and laugh.
I know. I was just gonna say, I don't want to laugh too hard.
Yeah, because if you invited me over to forge for 8 hours, I'd probably last 45 minutes too, dude.
just practice, right?
I saw you take a sip of this whiskey and you instantly were like, well, what the fuck are we drinking, dude?
It's fucking good.
It's Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
I never had it before, and I'm thinking like some harsh scotch or something, and it was like,
bro, I don't
fucking delicious.
drink.
Is it sweet?
Yeah.
I don't drink often enough to drink stuff that tastes like shit. That's like, you'll never see me drinking fucking Coors Light or Schmidt Ice. Like I enjoy alcohol. Like we were just talking about this, maybe once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fuck, dude.
So this bourbon that was downstairs, do you like this? Because this is good bourbon.
I don't even know where that bourbon came from.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna go to the grocery store for tonight and get a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Because I like that whiskey. I don't know much about whiskeys, like what makes a good one or what makes a bad one. But when I have a bottle of Buffalo Trace, I'm like, this is pretty good.
Have you tried?
But I guess my question is, do you think this tastes good? Or
I don't know.
Are you like,
no, I don't know where that came from.
Take a sip. It came from your kitchen.
Yeah. But like, dude, we'll have like a UFC party or something. And then afterwards, there's a few bottles of liquor around. Yeah. And I don't know whose they are, but
saves till the next party.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
Okay. If you're on the full sweet drink, I can't fucking stand sugared. Like bourbon is a flavor and it's a good flavor. It doesn't need sugar. Whiskey is a good flavor. Coffee is a good flavor. All these things, you don't need sugar and bullshit in them because they're good flavors.
Well, and when you add too much sugar to alcohol, you get fucking gnarly hangovers.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't I'm already buzzed as shit, dude. And I've had half a fucking glass, you know what I'm saying?
Enough.
So I'm not too worried about the sugar. So, dude, we went out and went shooting this morning.
Yep.
And I got that fucking that new Geisley.
Yeah.
And that fucking gun.
Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it.
I always called it Giselle.
Giselle?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, dude, I think Jenny someone told me that. They're like, dude, your new gun has a woman's name, Giselle. I like
call
that.
it
And I was
Giselle
like,
from now on. Yeah.
because
She's fucking sexy.
Yeah.
you will give her a name and you will love her.
Yeah.
But dude, that fucking gun is different than any fucking gun I've ever shot.
So it's the whole gun.
It's the
not
whole
just
gun.
the trigger mechanism.
No, so Geisley started with triggers, and then they actually just won a contract with SOCOM.
They're the new SOP mod.
But they're only the upper receivers. I guess the guys are slapping them on Colt lower receivers.
Oh.
But now they're making the full fucking deal. And I was just at Pacific Armament. It's a local gun store. that shout out, they want to fucking sponsor the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Hell
cool,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But I was talking to those guys, and I've been shooting my whole adult life, and I've been on fucking like highly fucking specialized teams and done a lot of cool shit, but I'm not a fucking gun guy.
Yeah.
I can't tell you like, oh, this twist ratio outperforms this, and you want this many grains in your bullets and blah, blah, blah. Like, but those guys do.
Yeah.
And so I was in there, and I was buying the boys their rifles for Christmas, which I'll get into next. And I was like, dude, what if you were to fucking like just buy top of the line AR and trick it out for a fucking revolution gun? And I already have a really nice Wilson Combat 308, but I wanted a nice 5.56. And he's like, this is the one, dude. And it's just one guy's opinion, but I trusted him.
Yeah.
It's legit.
And I was like, all right, I'm going in. Let's order it. I'll buy it from you right now.
Yeah.
It was a spur of the moment fucking purchase. I'm a salesman dream come true.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, you can sucker me into anything, dude.
And so I came home. I'm like, hey, mama, just so you know,
Yeah, just so you know.
just so you know,
Got something to tell you.
if you would like, you know, a new whatever, you feel free.
Yeah, yeah.
But I hadn't shot it till today, and it's a fucking tack driver, and it just feels super comfortable too, man.
I wish we had thought to go. We were freezing our balls off, but I wish we had thought to do a back-to-back with my Daniel defense in that one, just to see if there was like a clear difference or if they're similar. Or because I had the same feeling when I.
Well, Daniel, and they told me that. They said you either want a Geisley, a LaRue, Daniel defense, or a Lewis machine and tool.
Yeah.
And they named off a handful of the top performers right now.
Yeah. And Daniel defense is on that list, but it would be fun next time we go out. We got to remember to do that. Just put 5 rounds in you know what I mean? In 2 magazines, and then go one right to the other and just see if there's like, a clear difference, or if it's like, it's all the same.
And then I'm running that Vortex, Gen 3 Razor. That's the first time I've shot that thing.
That thing is fucking sick.
It's fucking rad, dude.
Yeah.
Vortex has quickly become my favorite fucking optic company on planet Earth. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they're huge fans of the podcast.
No,
maybe it
in
does.
fact, because I
know.
was already on them before this, and I think I kind of got you started down that road. And I'm not sure how you ended up in contact with them, but I had at least one of their optics prior to you being in contact with them. And had you bought one yourself?
No, but I remember you telling me like you had bought one and you loved it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Foulke's fucking, if Foulke blesses off on something, I know that that's legit, you know?
Yeah.
No, dude, it was when I was down at the First Form headquarters, Sal Forcella.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's friends with the head guys at Vortex, and he goes, hey, bro, check this out. I got a bunch of new optics from Vortex, and he gave me a couple.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I hit him up because I wanted to put an order in for more.
Yeah.
And then they connected me with the president of Vortex.
Got it.
And then they hooked me up with, they're like, oh, well, what are you looking for? And dude, I literally thought like, hey, this is a friend of a friend. You know, maybe I'll get some kind of fucking homie discount or something, not expecting anything, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what are you looking for? And I told him like, okay, I got this rifle, I have this rifle, I have this rifle, not expecting anything.
Yeah.
Dude, overnight a box shows up at my house with all the fucking optics that we talked about.
Fuck, dude.
And he's like,
hey, I called dibs on one of those hats. Are those still around?
bro, yeah, hell yeah. We got a bunch of Vortex hats. But they hit me up and they're like, hey man, we fucking Sal talked to us about you. You're a solid fucking dude, and we want to fucking hook you up and help you out however we can. And so we're gonna do some partnership stuff with them, with Guns and Geese, and we're gonna start like exclusively running their optics. Yep. We're having them mounted on our pistols and shit now. Yeah. And dude, it's a cool fucking company. Yeah. And like, there's heavy hitters in the optics business. Like when we were young Rangers, it was Leupold and Trijicon, and those are still fucking like,
they're legit, but they're big companies. They don't have like a personality or a soul. Like Vortex is a family owned business that I think they just started in Wisconsin, like out of their garage almost kind of deal. You know what I mean? So it still has kind of
different. It's different, right?
It's a company that has a soul.
And like they have a fucking warranty that can't be beat, and they take care of their fucking customers. And so they said, hey, we want to fly you out and show you the fucking headquarters and show you what we're all about. And I said, let's do a podcast and have you guys tell like the whole Vortex story. And so that's going down at the end of this month. That's going to be fucking cool, man.
That's awesome.
Where are they at?
I think it is Wisconsin. Yeah, it's somewhere out. All those states are on the Great Lakes are just the same to me. So
It's very cold there.
Yeah, it's very cold.
But dude, and so then I shot my 43. I got those new Shield arms, 15 round magazines for the 43. And I just wanted to see what it was like, just make sure that it cycled and that everything was good to go. And it reiterated that I hate my 43. I hate that fucking gun.
Any little tiny gun, it doesn't matter, 9mm, 380, whatever. When they're that small, it's like a rodeo ride.
It's
right?
hard to hold on to.
Yeah, it's bouncing all over.
And you know, there's gun nerds listening to us right now. They can't fucking manage the recoil of a 9mm. Those guys are fucking pussies, dude.
Yep.
But
compared to a Glock 17,
it's a totally different animal.
Totally different ballgame. Yeah.
But it brings up something I want to talk about because we talked about it out there, and then inevitably I had a guy hit me up today, and I don't know if he saw your picture or not, but he's like, why do you guys train with gun belts so much? Because in day-to-day life.
Oh, shout out Ex Umbris.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I love it.
That is some high quality shit. And the gun belt, I train with it because it's comfortable and holds all my shit.
That's exactly what I told him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he said, and it wasn't a guy like calling him out on Instagram. It was like a cool conversation, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, but like, you're not going to clip that on before you go into Walmart. You're going to put your concealed carry.
No, it's a duty rig.
And it's a duty rig. But, and this is from Greg Lappin, who is obviously, he's my business partner in a fucking shooting school. And I chose to do that because he's the best fucking shooter and the best instructor I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about this, and he goes, listen, you develop your fundamentals of firearms on a comfortable platform.
Yes, absolutely.
He goes, so get a 19X, get a 17, get something that feels good in your hands, something that you like to put hours in on the range, and really develop all the fundamentals of firearms. And he goes, if I had to give you a split, I would say 90-10, where it's 90% on your comfortable gun that you like running, and then 10% on your little fucking annoying duty carry that you can stuff in your pocket or in your waistband.
Yeah, totally.
Because you want to get those reps of like pulling your shirt up and drawing from a concealed position. Yes. So it's not foreign, but it's not enjoyable to shoot. And so he's like, bro, I build my repetitions on the
most
guns,
basic setup that you can get.
Yeah, on the guns that I like shooting that are comfortable, and I run a range belt. So I have my magazines, I have a dump pouch available, and that makes the range experience just more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
And that's like, it's like jiu-jitsu, right? If your training wasn't enjoyable, how motivated are you going to be to come back every fucking day, right?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Well, and so I've been spending a ton of time dry firing in my garage the last, I don't know, 4 weeks or so, because I've got this idea of, and I don't want to say too much yet, but I'm going to do some sort of training for new gun owners. There's something like 11 million brand new gun owners in the United States in the last 2 years. I can't imagine why people would be out buying guns.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah, weird. It's like
even radical left anti-gun liberals,
suburban mom and dads have all gone out and bought guns.
They got a hold of a
for the first time ever. Yeah. And so, anyway,
but they also know
that
it's like, I tell people buying a new gun is like putting on a gi.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you know shit.
You don't know you mostly, and that's what's leading me down this road is they don't even know how to disassemble it and clean the packing grease off. So, you don't even think about that shit coming from all these years of it, or all these years of, military type stuff, that there's a whole lot of steps before you even go to the range for the first time. So there's a 2-hour class just on how to take this thing apart. We got to clean the packing grease off of it. We need to get some hoppy solvent down your barrel, get the packing grease out of there. You know what I mean? All of these things you need to do before you put that first round down range. And then even then, all right, now you've shot your first 200 rounds. Now we need to go clean the gun again, a second time, and then put it all back together and have it properly oiled so that it'll function the next time you pull it out. But all that stuff that you sort of think is like
almost common sense.
Yeah, you don't think about it.
They don't.
Exactly.
Like my mom said,
but someone needs to teach them. And so and it's not that they're wrong or they're stupid. It's just
they've never done it
this is
before.
a new aspect of their life,
and they don't know.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah. And I'm digressing, but so I've been spending all this time dry firing in my garage and thinking like, it's actually been really good for me because in order, like I've basically been giving a pistol 101 class to my garage door.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for me to go back and think about like, how do I break this down? How do I teach this? Because teaching is way different than just going in there and banging out reps.
Your body knows all the fucking
exactly.
movements.
So now I've got to break it down. I've really got to think about what I'm doing and how do I explain what I'm doing with my left foot? Oh Jesus, I need to explain what I'm doing with I need to stop and talk about my left foot.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, okay, all right, that's we'll go stance and then we'll do this. But one thing I've really sort of settled on for as I go forward and when I start teaching this is I'm going to use the most basic holster out there, just the good old Uncle Mike's molded case. And I don't care what, and probably either Glock 17 or 19s or 19, whatever, something big, something duty sized. Because I don't care. And at some point, maybe pistol 2, pistol 3, pistol 4, we'll get into concealed carry. But that, whether you're carrying appendix or 5 o'clock, whatever, those draw steps are all more or less the same. You're adding in a little bit of complexity with moving your t-shirt so you can get your hand there, but it's all the same shit. It's the same movement, just very so slightly modified. So if you're practicing and getting a ton of reps from just a basic duty holster, you're going to get 98% of what you need for your concealed carry holster. It's a slight modification.
Well, but yeah,
and you're doing the same damn thing.
If you think about like your body position, your stance, your grip,
all the same.
Your sight picture, your sight alignment, your trigger squeeze, like all the stuff that makes you a good shooter, doesn't matter where the gun is at on your body.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? And so like people start to put too much emphasis on that shit, but they can't hit a fucking broadside of a barn still.
Most people don't even know what that is. Because like I sent you, my mom had sent me that text message yesterday. I had sent her some fucking link on the internet or something. And her response was, I need a gun. Okay, my mom's 50 fucking 2 years old.
My mom's 70. She wants one.
She never, I'm sure she shot a gun before, but she's never owned it. And her mind is, shit's hitting the fan in the world. I need a gun. Because that's going to fucking save me from all the tyranny and all the bad guys.
So you put a fucking Smith & Wesson 38 revolver in your purse.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go to war.
And you're ready to go to war. And I said what you said at the fucking thing. I said, Mom, I love everyone in my family, but everyone in my family's fat. And that means that no one is capable of fighting tyranny.
Yeah.
If you can't get up right fucking now and run 2 miles
there you go.
And under, whatever, I'll give you
no, even run 2 miles. I'm not even going to put a timeline on it. If you can do the fucking airborne shuffle for 2 miles, now we can talk about tactics.
But you can't. No one in my family can. I'm the only motherfucker in my entire family who could run 2 miles, and I got a janky ass fucking ankle. So
with 18 pins in it.
With 18 fucking screws in it. And I can still do it.
That's a solid point. Your primary weapon is not something you bought at a store. It's what you're born with, right?
Bro, I say it all the time.
Teaching me this.
The original piece of issued combat equipment is your fucking body.
The Mark 1 Mod 0.
And I've talked about this on the show before because I was talking about this on Instagram one day. And a guy wrote me and he goes, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? This isn't Game of Thrones anymore. You're not swinging a sword. We got fucking rifles. And I'm like, man, people really think that fighting with rifles is suddenly like a video game.
Yeah, you're sit on your couch.
Sitting on your fucking couch, and I put my fucking crosshairs on something, and I see a little red mist behind his fucking head.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking for the next guy. And it's like, listen, I've literally done sniper operations where I've sat in a sniper hide for fucking 10 hours.
Mom, I need some more pizza and a sniper hide.
It's like, I get that. And in my opinion, that is probably the most funnest method of warfare. Where you got a bunch of standoff, you're in the back of a fucking room, and you're just scanning a sector waiting for threats to pop up. I get it, right? Yeah. But 10 minutes after that, when you're fucking exfilling and you're getting into your vehicle and a fucking dude gets shot, like one of my buddies who weighs 170, he's a super athlete. A dude on our team got shot through the fucking neck, and he picked him up, like fireman carry, just like I make the kids do at jiu-jitsu, and had to carry him down three flights of stairs, fucking run over, throw him in the back of the fucking Suburban, and haul ass to fucking Camp Ramadi, and he fucking died. And it's like, dude, the day was fucking fine 10 seconds ago, and now I have to carry a fucking 250-pound, fully kitted up man down 2 flights of stairs across a parking lot and then fucking drive as fast as I can 4 miles from the government center to Camp Ramadi Medical Center. And it's like, if you can't do that, you shouldn't be in fucking combat.
Nope.
Now, is that the fucking hardest thing in the world? Any one of us could do it, but the 99% of fucking Americans could not pick up a fully kitted man and run down fucking 2-3 flights of stairs.
No.
And so like, yeah, you might be at a static position providing overwatch. And now I got to fucking act. And for people to think that like it's anything other than that, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just
dude?
dry firing in the garage with my rifle, my shoulder, like I get sweaty.
Yeah, bro.
And my shoulder gets like your left shoulder starts getting smoked and you're like, oh shit, this is work.
I didn't want to say that on the podcast because it's embarrassing now, but I do dry fires and it's like, whew, fuck, man. Because remember,
but was it any different when we were 20?
Well, we were saw gunners together.
That's right.
Remember? And like we'd have to do in the Ranger Regiment, at least back in 01, it was a half-hour dry fires to an hour dry fires every fucking morning.
Yeah.
You would do your PT, and I think it was before we would eat, right? PT, draw weapons, dry fire.
I think it was PT,
or was it
PT breakfast, draw weapons,
dry fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're a saw gunner. You carry a machine gun. We don't care. Get your saw, you know? And so it's like,
that means you CQB with a machine gun.
and we had like these 100-round little nut sacks, and you're fucking doing all that shit with a machine gun. And it's like, dude, that fucking ruins your day.
Yeah.
And that was every day.
But your guys' is fucking delts and shoulders and
dude.
lats.
Well, not only that, but just and also, because every once in a while I'll throw my plate hanger on with it, and that adds weight that adds another 20 pounds probably onto your shoulder.
Yeah.
And so it's just all this stuff is stacking up. And for anybody who doesn't believe me, the next time you shoot, just set your rifle down, go run for 5 minutes so your heart rate's good and like pumping, and then sit back down and shoot. And that's what you have to be able to do, because you're not going to be, like I said, Greg said, yeah, it's great if you can sit in that sniper hide and on the Ramadi Government Center. But the reality is you might have to run up a stairwell to a balcony or get a rooftop position.
That's the
engage
exception.
2 guys.
That's the exception.
Then you're going to jump up, run back down the stairwell, hit it, you know what I mean? Cross a road, up a stairwell, find a window, engage down a street. Out of that, and it just goes on and on.
And then your buddy
on.
hits you up on the radio. It's like, dude, contact fucking wherever. And you got a fucking IMT.
Yeah, you got an adrenaline dump.
Individual movement techniques, you know? Yeah. Like that's just it. You don't think you want to fucking be in shape? Do 3 to 5 second rushes for 100 meters.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. 100 meters.
Fucking destroy you.
You know?
And we used to laugh because we'd be in the squad room watching like Commando was one of our favorite movies with Schwarzenegger. And like at the end there, when he's cruising through the flower garden and he's got the M60 in one hand and he's like lightly spritzed and like breathing through his nose. And we're like, dude, if you were assaulting like a target that size, you'd be
sucking wind.
Ooh, I can't get a sight picture. Ooh.
Yeah, bro, straight Fran lung, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Choke myself.
You got your weed pen, Greg?
I do. Yeah, I'll get it in a few minutes. It's actually charging. I was like, dude, we're fucking partying tonight. Lucifer's lettuce, screwball whiskey, fucking all the above, dude.
Is it really Lucifer's lettuce if it's Lucifer's fucking bullshit chemical oil?
I don't fucking think so, dude. I know who worships Lucifer and they ain't fucking into that.
I actually don't prefer oil and like vape pens, just because like what am I sucking into my fucking lungs, you know? But then the other side of it is like the convenience of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets dangerous.
Oh, the McDonald's version.
Yeah, it's a McDonald's version, right? And it's like
it's fast, it's quick, it's easy, you don't gotta go outside, you don't stink.
And bro, so I was fucking like lighting joints on my fucking on my deck off of my master bedroom, and then my kids are all, neighbors are smoking weed again. We smell weed. And like for a long time, I was letting that be the story, right? Like the kids smell the neighbor smoking weed again, and then I was like, you know what, dude? I'm not being authentic.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I'm a 41-year-old man and I'm comfortable smoking marijuana a couple nights a week, then I can't do that in good conscience and hide it from my fucking kids.
Well,
Yeah.
not
And
to mention.
So I told them straight up. I was like, no, it's not the neighbor. I smoke marijuana sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like, you said smoking kills you. I said smoking cigarettes kills you.
I also drink beer and whiskey sometimes, and alcohol is far more destructive to people's lives than marijuana. So why? It's because we grew up with the taboo on marijuana. It's a drug, right? But I mean,
100%.
really, this is what destroys life. I'm holding a bottle of whiskey up in front of these guys. This is what destroys people's lives, not marijuana.
And you're right, dude.
The 3 times I got arrested as a teenager was for smoking marijuana. One time it was Tolo. Okay. And, right.
That's a 10th grade dance,
That's
right?
a 10th grade dance.
Oh,
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck are you
It's a
talking about?
Tolo in high school. And my mom gave me like fucking $50 to go buy. The dudes get a fucking like flower pinned on them, and the chicks get this flower bracelet thing. It's called something.
Corsage.
Corsage.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hold it down for 2 minutes. I'll go get the vape pen.
Okay. So I fucking go.
All right, Greg's gone. Fuck that motherfucker.
So my mom gives me $50.
Yeah.
I'm 15. I don't have a car yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride my bike to go get a corsage. Okay. But I had like a little bowl or something.
Yeah.
I had a park behind me and behind my house. So I rode my bike to the park. I went in the fucking bushes, smoked a bowl,
Yeah.
rode my bike to Safeway,
Yep.
went in, bought a corsage,
Yep.
walked out, and had like 6 fucking police officers outside.
Guns out.
Dude,
Yeah.
they
Jesus.
fucking, it's literally at the parking lot, 5 or 6 cops surrounded me, walked me to the car, and was like, where's the dope at? And at that time, anytime at 15, when I heard the word dope, I didn't think of marijuana. I thought of whatever bad drug dope was.
Crack or heroin. or
Something, right?
Something, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't do dope. And they're like, no, we know you do dope. And I'm like, no, I don't fucking do dope. I smoke weed, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, where's the dope at? And I'm like, I don't have any. And they go, well, here's the deal. You were in Lindale Park smoking marijuana in the bushes while an off-duty police officer was
Goddamn.
was at the park reading a book who noticed you and called you in. So we're here at Safeway to pick you up.
Back then, that dude had to go find a payphone.
Yeah.
It's not like he pulled a phone out of his pocket.
No.
Can you imagine being that person? There's a kid here smoking dope.
While I'm reading my book off duty.
I'm off duty. Like, dude, when you're a cop and you're off duty, the last thing you want to do is get involved in any type of police work. But apparently he wanted to bust fucking 10th grader Tyler Stanaway for hitting a fucking joint, dude.
I fucking took him down so hard. Bro, what? I got hired by Everett PD in 2011.
Yeah, I remember
think it
that.
was.
Yeah, you went through the process.
Yeah. So, and they wanted me to set an academy date, and I said I need to have a ride along first. I want to make sure, because I was a first year apprentice as an electrician then. And I was kind of on the fence.
High-speed police officer or boring electrician.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'm envisioning like, if I can get on like a drug task force or something, it'll be nonstop raids and shit you see on cops or whatever.
Thank God you chose
Dude.
electrician.
Oh my God. So
now you're getting fucking paid.
right. Yeah,
dude.
And but so I did the ride along, and the guy was such a fucking douchebag that I just kept sitting there thinking, man, I can't imagine 3 years of probation with this guy or someone like him sitting in the passenger seat. And then finally what broke it for me is he was like, what drug do you think is most prevalent here in Everett? I was like, it's got to be crystal meth. He's like, yeah, or marijuana. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess there's probably a lot of marijuana. I was like, what do you do if you pull over some high school kids and they've got a nickel bag in their pocket? I mean, like what is, like, obviously there's no protocol that says you can just throw it in the ditch and tell them to fucking go home. But how do you get around that? He's like, oh, you don't get around it. I take them in.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, yeah,
You take them in.
you're not my people.
No, they're
This is
going to
not-
prison.
yeah.
Bro, dude, when I was a deputy with the Marshal Service, we would do raids and I'd pull methamphetamine out of people's pockets all the time. No federal prosecutor is going to take personal use methamphetamine. And our job is we were serving warrants. So the guy was already wanted for whatever. And we're not going to add more charges on for something that's not going to fucking get prosecuted, because that just turns into a waste of everybody's time. So it was understood. If you're serving a warrant and you find fucking personal use drugs on the guy, you just stomp it out in the ground, right? A lot of times, dude, I'd get home from work at the end of the day with methamphetamine in my pockets.
Oh, shit.
And I remember one day I was like, oh, I still got a bunch of meth. Dumping it down, just dumping it down the toilet, you know? And I was like, I wonder what it feels like to smoke this.
Oh, no.
Right? No, obviously.
I drank in the bathroom with some foil.
No, I didn't go there, obviously.
That's
Jimmy, this is some fucked up shit.
2 weeks later, he blew a guy for the first time.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen.
No, but so
Every meth head loves sucking dick.
on the federal level, it's like nobody gave a fuck, dude. And that was in the Central District of California. I don't know how it is in the other districts. But then when I got hired as a local police officer, I was like, oh, this is just a little fucking bag of meth. We can just fucking dump this, right? And the guy's like, oh, no. My fucking PTO at the time's like, oh no, we're going to test that. We're going to confirm. And bro, this amount was so small that after you test it, it's almost fucking gone, dude. Yeah. He's like, you need to test that. And then we need to annotate that in the report. And you need to put the rest and submit it into evidence. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
fucking put it in the trash,
yeah,
bro.
Dude.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, lesson learned. Don't let anybody know if you find personal use drugs on anybody, because not only is it a big waste of everybody's fucking time, but no one in Seattle, even though it's the state prosecutors, they're not going to fucking charge for a little tiny bag of meth. Yep. But now they're like, actually, we don't even care. Yeah. Like, consider it legal. Well, you know?
That same ride along, we did take a guy in for like a personal use little tiny bag of meth. And it's like, so we're booking him into the jail there at Snohomish County. And I'm just sitting there next to the guy, and he's like, look at this guy's rap sheet. And it's like pages. And it's like, what? And he's like, what do you think he goes, what do you think they'll do with him tonight? And I was like, I don't know. I imagine he'll be out on bail pretty soon. He's like, oh, he'll be out tomorrow. and again, so I'm looking at the cop, and I'm looking at like the 3 people it took to process this guy into the jail, and kind of doing like the math in my head, like, how many tens of thousands of dollars is this guy costing the taxpayer just so he can sleep here tonight and then go back out on the street tomorrow? And it's like, dude, what?
It's a fucking racket, dude.
What are we doing?
Such a broken fucking system. Like,
I have a question for you about police officers. Vanessa had I haven't told you this story.
Let's hear
and
it.
I've been waiting.
I'm
like, I need to talk to Greg about this.
Sounds like I'm going to hear it right now.
Dude, because you're talking about police officers. So the other day she goes to leave the new house. This was a few weeks ago. I might have told you when
I've heard this story. Yeah,
at the clubhouse. So she's coming from my house, going down back to I-5 towards Angel of the Winds Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Before you come down the hill to get to I-5, there's these 2 fucking tight ass corners. The speed limit's like 15 miles an hour. As soon as Vanessa comes and goes down the hill, apparently a police officer is already at the bottom of the hill with his lights on, standing in the middle of the road in the double lane. So as Vanessa's coming down, she's obviously going to run him over, so she has to slow down. He's screaming at her to pull the fuck over. That's what Vanessa's like, he's screaming that at the top of his lungs. Pull the fuck over, pointing at her. So she's like, I couldn't pull over behind him. I had to go by him and then pull in front. He's running alongside her, banging on the fucking window, telling her to pull over.
Oh, I'm furious.
Bro. So she pulls over and she's telling me, she's like, I was scared, babe. She's like, this was so weird.
A petite, cute little 30-year-old woman, dude. Like,
yeah,
to paint a picture
with the 2 kids in the back.
Yeah.
Or maybe all 3 kids in the back. So she's like, I go to roll the window down and I don't want to roll it down all the way. I only roll it down a little, an inch. And he's like, didn't you fucking hear me? I said, pull the fuck over. And she's like, yeah. He's like, do you know how fast you were going? And she goes, no. He goes, well, you were speeding. She goes, you were standing in the middle of the road with your lights on before I even came down the hill. You haven't even seen me. He goes, did you hear what I said? You're speeding. Do you have your license or registration?
So this is probably what happened. I'm guessing he had just completed a traffic stop. He probably walked up to the car in front of him and said, issued the ticket or issued the warning, right? That would be the only reason that he would have his car on the side of the road with the lights on and said, have a fucking nice day, sarcastically, because he probably just wrote him a fucking big ticket.
Yeah.
That car's leaving and he's nabbing the next car that comes around that corner.
Okay.
That's probably what happened.
Okay.
Now, how fast was she fucking going? I don't know.
Well, here's the deal.
But I'll tell you this. It doesn't matter if she was fucking going excessive speeds or not. For him to start fucking swearing at a fucking young woman with kids in the back of her car, I'd go to the department and make a formal complaint.
Banging on the window.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal. He goes, do you know how fast, finally Vanessa goes, well, I'm not going to show you my registration of my license until you tell me what I did wrong. How fast was I going, officer? He says, well, you were going over the speed limit.
So
She goes, well, what's the speed limit? And he goes, 35. She goes, no, you're wrong. This is my street and it's 25 miles an hour. And the 2 corners that I just went past is 15. And in my 4Runner, you can't go faster than 20 or you'll go off the road. So I know that I was at least going 5 miles under the speed limit, no matter what you said. You know what he said? He goes, oh, then he says or maybe this was before, something about your recording, or this is all being recorded. Well, Vanessa, she goes, yeah, you're being recorded too, and reaches over, and she doesn't know if this is the reason or not, but she had a bunch of Electric North jiu-jitsu shit right there, and we know all the police officers know who you fucking are around here. At that point in time, she's like, I don't know if it's because I said that he was being recorded, or he's seen all the Electric North shit. But he changed his tone immediately, started saying, ma'am, please, thank you.
That's so funny.
Didn't give her a fucking ticket, didn't give her a warning, let her go.
or maybe he just realized
That he's a fucking idiot.
I'm way out of bounds.
I'm out of my I'm out of control right now, or I'm behaving in a manner that, because dude, it's not the Wild West in the profession anymore.
Yeah.
You tell a fucking mom, hey, fuck you, when she has kids in the back, and you get a formal complaint, and you're standing in front of your fucking chief. Hey, why did you tell this lady to fucking pull her fucking car over? You know what I mean? Like it's a different entity now.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm going to go ahead and believe it's because he saw the electric jiu-jitsu sticker.
Right? Oh, shit.
Maybe he listens to the show. And if he listens to the show,
Fuck you.
you got to come to the gym and you got to do an accountability round with Tyler.
Yeah, let's do it. That's it. Because she's brought that up. She's
And
like,
after it's over, no hard feelings, bro.
yeah, she's
Hey,
like,
come get your accountability
sometimes
round.
I wish you were with me. And I go,
That would be dead.
but the thing is, what am I going to do? She goes, I go, he's the cop, right? What? I fucking get out and I kill him. And now what? Our life has changed for the rest of our lives.
Well, your life is over for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You're either hiding in the woods,
That's
or
it.
you're getting shot, or you're sitting in a cage forever.
And none of those sound
Appealing.
No,
Well,
I'm
bro,
not.
like, here's the thing, man, because this is a good segue, because I had a cop write me this morning, and he goes, I fucking started following you from the beginning. I always thought you were a good dude, but you're nothing more than a fucking CNN mouthpiece that pushes bullshit propaganda. Unfollowed. And I'm like,
to you?
to me, yeah.
What did you push? That
I
was
posted
CNN?
those New York cops that were enforcing. You saw the video of them throwing the child
The like 7-year-old kid or 5-year-old kid
out of the restaurant.
for pizza.
And so I posted a video of those cops, and I said, I don't remember exactly what I said for verbatim, but I was like, listen, if you cops out there are still fucking siding with corruption and siding with tyranny, there will come a time when you have to answer to the people, and your excuses of I was doing my job, we will not accept.
Yeah.
You've had 2 years to choose what side you're on, and you guys are making it very clear what side you're on.
Yeah.
And he's like, he went with all those fucking like police officer sticking points. You don't know what happened before the video. You don't know all the details of the circumstances. You don't know who those other people at the table were. All this bullshit, right? And what I've realized is if you are a fucking blind supporter of law enforcement that just at any fucking cost, any and all interactions that police are good, okay? And you're there to support them no matter what. You are just as bad as the defund the police people.
It's lack of critical thinking about
It is, man, because it's nuanced. And the right way to address the profession is anyone that thinks we don't need cops, you're a fucking idiot. Anyone thinks that society can function without law and order, you're a fucking idiot. And then the other side of it is, I was in the profession for 10 years. Most police officers are pretty cool people. Most of them have pretty good hearts. Most of them are in the job for the right reasons. Like I've said on the show a million times, I've yet to meet the cop that's like, you want to go hem up some black guys today? You know what I'm saying? Like, from my experience, police are good human beings for the most part.
Right.
But it is critical that police officers, both past and present, people that have been inside of the profession, are critical of the ones that aren't towing the line, that aren't making the right decisions, that aren't serving their community in the way their communities need to be served. Yeah. You're serving Mayor de Blasio. That dude has his head so far up his own fucking ass that there shouldn't be one cop in New York that lifts a fucking finger for that guy, period. Well, every single one of them should be like, go fuck yourself, Mayor. And if you don't like it, take my job. And tomorrow morning you will have 0 police officers. But dude, it's weird. Like, people have chose their sides, and it's like, dude, things are nuanced, and the truth is somewhere in the fucking middle. Yeah. And I was like, and so I wrote this guy back, like I always do when I'm hot.
Deleted it.
And then I fucking, thank God Instagram has the unsend message, and then just deleted him, because it's like, if you're going to come at me aggressively over Instagram, we are not going to have a conversation.
You're looking for something.
I have nothing to fucking
about.
I should say nothing back to you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you get 0 attention.
Yeah, you get 0 attention, dude. Yep. You're like a dog. A dog would rather get fucking negative attention than no attention.
Yeah. I think there's millions of people who sit online all day, every day, just looking to get a reaction out of like a virtual reaction out of somebody.
Bro, that's not something that you think. That's a fucking life. That's a scientific. You want to say trust the science? That's a scientific fact.
Yeah. That's because those guys are 300 pounds. They live in their grandma's basement. They got fucking Cheeto dust stained fingers.
And they've never banged They've never banged hot pussy in their life.
They've never even seen hot pussy outside their computer screen.
I don't think it's even limited to the fat dorks in the basement anymore. I think it's a lot of mainstream. Like they have a profession, they have an apartment, and then what they do when they're not at work, or shit, even when they're sitting in their cubicle, is they just sit there on social media. And
it's crazy, dude.
I listened to a podcast where this guy was going around surveying boys from age 13 to 19. So I guess teen years, right? And he had came across like 3 or 4 foundational things that the generations prior, this was like highly sought after, which now is garbage. And for instance,
is fucking hot girls one of them?
Yes. And it's not just hot girls or it's fucking in reality, period. Like
seeking actual sexual intercourse.
Yeah. Even actual relationship, because why would you need to do that when you could just go on the internet, either Zoom, there's a billion fucking porn that you can watch instantly. You don't have to worry about rejection. You don't have to worry about vulnerability. You don't have to worry about any of these things that
could potentially hurt
you, right? The other thing, which the guy was saying, like, okay, well, if people don't want to fuck anymore, then
the species is dead.
It has to be due to low testosterone levels.
It is. And then also society, just the way that things are.
Easy. You want the easy button.
Right. And bro, our feelings.
This is my question to that. Right. And I've talked to a lot of my buddies about this that are fucking like, just, I don't like to use the word alpha male because I feel like a lot of dudes want to act like they're badasses. We're alphas. It's like, I'm alpha sometimes, and sometimes I'm beta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It depends on the life circumstances.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, sex, like the whole reason that having sex with a woman is fun and enjoyable and I fucking seek it is because it's fun to make that woman enjoy herself.
100%.
Oh yeah.
That's what's fun about sex. I want to watch her fucking crawling up the fucking headboard and fucking coming over and over and over. That's what I fucking want.
Of course.
In sex. Otherwise, if all I give a shit about is I just need to get off.
Why
I
not
could
just buy a
I
whore?
could go just, I could buy a whore and catch an STD.
Yeah.
Or I could just go beat off to porn, right?
That's
the
it.
whole reason that you're sharing that with another human being is because you're giving that person a good time and that person is giving you a good time.
And through that,
and you can't get that on the internet, dude.
No, because you can't get, it's about the connection.
Yes, dude.
It's your
That's
sexual,
what makes it fun.
That's it. And your sexual energy is your life force energy. It is the same energy as you create with. It's the same fucking thing. So this is why you'll hear like champions or fucking people who do UFC or whatever, they won't bust a nut for, a week or 2 weeks.
That shit's crazy, dude.
Because they want to get fucking primal. They're building up their life force energy.
Did Mike Tyson used to do that?
Yeah. And not just him, dude.
I thought he's
No.
like,
I know a lot.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tyson was a
But
big
then
one.
you got Chuck Liddell. He's like, I'd fucking fuck 2 chicks right before I'd walk out into the octagon
that's
and
it.
knock out Randy Couture.
And that's another thing, right? I think Tim Kennedy is another one. You fuck every day.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know.
Yeah, to each his own, right?
To each his own. But I do know that your life force energy is your creative energy. It is your sexual energy. And the reason why it is so important between like marriage, it's one thing to go fuck a whore or a one night stand. That feels good, but it's not the same connection, like the intimate connection deeply that bonds you between you and your wife. And that is something that only you and your wife get to experience. These people, porn does not give you what you get with Jenny, what I get with Vanessa, what he gets with Jen, right?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
You cannot get that.
Bro, I mean, I had Charles is one of my fucking best friends, dude.
That's a
You know
great
what I'm saying?
episode.
Why does he have a girlfriend if he can fuck girls all day long?
He doesn't anymore.
Like he did for a long time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's a reason. And it's that connection between you, the masculine, feminine energy that I guess if you don't know, if you never knew, and the Truman Show,
Yeah.
then you're like, my brother is 28 years old. I don't think he's ever had sex with a girl.
Dude, throwing him under the bus on the podcast.
Fuck it, dude. If you don't like it, change the truth.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, dude. No, but I mean, there's a fucking large percentage of the youth that isn't even seeking it, dude. And I honestly think it is. You can fucking get on your phone and you can
That's
say,
the easy button.
you can say, what's it look like to see a woman? I mean, you can go wherever I want to watch a woman get fucked by a horse today.
Yeah.
God.
You can have
Yeah.
that playing
Oh, I know.
in fucking 3 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I was 15, it's like,
I was stealing my dad's fucking magazines out of the
amount-
bottom of the toolbox.
bro, that's the thing. It's like,
we could have cured cancer. The amount of effort and IQ and our time that we dedicated to scoring a Playboy.
Oh yeah, dude.
bro, bro.
You're talking like in terms like, because I do construction, we think of things in man hours.
Yeah.
Thousands of man hours spent
Yeah, that's right, dude.
trying to just like, hey, if I can get a centerfold to keep in my closet.
That's it.
Bro, my fucking cousin got me a fucking Playboy when I was 12 or whatever, and I hid it in my tree fort. And that was like one of my
10
fucking
years.
And bro, that was one of my fucking prized possessions.
yeah, dude, that's gold.
Dude, that's what a pussy. It was a penthouse. It wasn't a Playboy.
Yeah, it was
so
a
I got to
penthouse.
see what pussy looked like.
That's right.
You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
what started to make you feel like a man.
And bro, it's like, dude, I have to see this.
Yeah.
I have to find one of these. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's a driving force that is fucking like, I don't give a fuck if I'm cold. I don't give a fuck if I'm hungry. I don't give a fuck about anything. I need this, dude. And I remember like me and one of my buddies, we were like fucking 14 or something. And he had a phone, no, I think he had a pager. He had a pager, right? And so his girlfriend paged him, and he was at my house, and he called her back on my parents' phone. It's like, hey, I'm over at my friend's house, and she wants you and Greg to come over here after all the parents go to bed.
Oh my God, your heart, you instantly get butterflies.
Dude. And they lived like 7 miles away. We're 14.
You rode your bike, so didn't you?
No,
we walked.
Fuck yeah.
We walked, dude.
Yep.
And like we got there and we were hanging out with the chicks, and we didn't fuck them. We were dead sure we were going to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, dude, we're hanging out with chicks and it's 3 a.m. and their parents are upstairs, dude.
Oh my God.
Their dad wakes up, he's gonna kill me.
Yep.
But bro, you would stop at nothing.
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
And now I talk to some of the kids, like through like kids that I know through jiu-jitsu or whatever. I'm like, bro, you're 17. Where's your fucking girlfriend? I don't really feel like a girlfriend right now. I'm like,
no.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's all I could think about. And bro, I'm 41. It's still all I can think about.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not the fact that, hey, I was a kid. Right. It was like my brain was hardwired to hunt pussy.
Masculine energy.
And in my whole fucking life, dude. And I can talk about this all day on the podcast because Jenny still is like, dude, you're just completely out of fucking control, dude. You know? Like
I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, though.
It should be.
Go look at any other male animal.
Oh yeah.
In the animal kingdom. What is their purpose in life?
Bro.
They chase fucking tail.
And
they
kill
reproduce,
and eat.
and they kill and they eat.
Bro, you fucking watch. So I had 2 Belgian Malinois. And when my female would go into heat, it's like, you can't even describe it with words how frantic and psychotic he would get. Like jumping at the walls, ripping fences down, fucking ripping blinds out of windows and trying to fucking smash through the window and shit.
Yeah, fucking cum dripping out his cock and everything.
Just to get some pussy, dude.
Yeah.
So bro, we put a fence up. We put a 6-foot fence up in the yard to have the male side and the female side for when she's in heat. And it was her that jumped that fence like a deer.
She wants it.
And we go out there and they're fucking stuck together one day. And I was like, Jesus. Like, bro, to try and keep 2 animals apart that want to fuck.
Nope.
Good luck, dude.
You gotta put them in cages. That's it. If they're not in cages, they'll find
bro, those regular, like, what do they call, like, very kennels, like the plastic ones?
Yeah.
They would break those. They would fucking jump and fucking like throw their body and break them open, dude.
Have you ever put a dollar amount on Havoc and Kova's damage?
I have. I don't know if it's accurate, but it's at least 25 grand.
God damn.
Those fucking dogs, dude. And for anybody that wants a Belgian Malinois, because they saw that movie where the fucking, I forget what it was called. There's some fucking famous movie where a fucking Malinois was like the main character. And then everybody started wanting Malinois after that. And it's like,
and all these households just getting fucking tore up.
I bought Malinois because I was in Iraq for half the fucking year. Right. I had a fucking wife back home by herself.
Yeah.
And so I had those dogs on the team when I was deployed, and I was like, I need some of these in my fucking house. And that's what I got them for, with the full understanding that they're savages, they're wild as fuck. I had them professionally trained to bite human beings, and it's a non-stop liability. Like every time someone comes over, they have to be kenneled up. They can't be around kids. They can't be around strangers. And bro, accidents fucking happen. Accident happened at your fucking wedding, dude. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he bit
Chris Helms, one of our Ranger buddies, because he tried to fucking pet a Malinois, and it's like, God damn it, dude! Like, what the fuck,
stuck his fingers into the cage,
you know, and got fucking. He was in my car, I think.
He was in his kennel in your car,
and it's like, dude,
stuck his fingers through the kennel.
In a Malinois, their kennel is their den.
Okay,
and they fall in love with it, and it's like, don't fuck with them when they're in their den.
Yeah,
and so
just like every other animal, right?
Yeah, right. And so like I got those dogs, and like, dude, when they were fucking like feeling wild and crazy, we'd come home, all the blinds ripped out of every window in the house. Or we'd come home and all the siding peeled off the side of the house. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? We went out to dinner one day and they were in my 4Runner and they pulled all the airbags and the speakers out of the doors and the dash and shit. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? You'd come out, we came out there, their mouths are bleeding because they've pulled all the speakers out of the doors. And the speakers have the metal rim and shit. And they were all cut up inside of their mouth. I was like,
what the fuck are you doing?
What are you fucking doing, dude? But,
dogs are fucking crazy. I told you about my, I don't think I've told you, but I had to escape my last dog, Militia, who's from jail, from Paws.
Oh, you rescued him. I thought you meant like he tried to kill you and you had
No. So every time my dog would get out, he'd get called to fucking Paws. And then they'd make you pay $75.
We had a half wolf growing up, same kind of deal where the cops came and got her a couple times.
Well, the last time I didn't have any money and it was a Friday and it was going to be $450 this time to get him out. Dang. Well, I had like 30 minutes. I was in Mill Creek and he somehow got to Linwood. He's in Linwood Paws. And so I had like 30 minutes to get there and I had zero money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to go there and get him. It was Friday. Because I remember I had him get him out within that 30 minutes because otherwise
he's there all weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it costs another, $100 a fucking day. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. And this is when me and Vanessa first got together. Yeah. Tinsley was just fucking newborn baby.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with Tinsley. I didn't have any other kids. I pack her up in the truck. I drive to Linwood. I go to Paws. Walk inside. I asked the lady, I said, hey, you guys called me. You said to have my dogs here, or you guys have picked him up. His name's Militia. He's 130-pound Alaskan Malamute. Oh, yeah. He's really nice. He's in the back. Go get the like clipboard, fill out the paperwork and bring it back up here. Okay. So I go in and there's like it's the office. Then you open the door and then it's like where all the dogs that are going to be adopted are. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of fucking people in there. And then you go around that and then through this other door. And then there's like where the new animals that they just picked up.
Yeah. I
go in there and Militia's the only fucking dog in there. And he's so excited to see me. And he's jumping up. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know I'm going to get you out of here.
Yeah.
I don't have any money. And he's crying, he wants out. And I'm looking around and I'm like, fuck. And I just so happened to realize that they didn't shut the master lock on his fucking door.
Nice.
I go, we're fucking booking it, dude. I'm like, pretty much 1, 2, 3.
Did they have your contact info?
Oh, yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah. That's how I knew he was there. Was
it microchipped?
Yeah.
Okay. He's
chipped. I'm like, fuck it. We're going for it. So I grab him by the collar. I open the door. We start running. We go through the next door and there's all those fucking people like Friday afternoon looking for their new dog. Barrel through all of them. The people at Paws. They're like, hey.
Oh, it's Paw. It's not the police impound. It's Paws.
No, I'm at Paws.
Oh, okay.
So
this makes a lot more sense.
Going through, I get to the office. There's a bunch of people in there. The fucking office ladies are yelling at me. Blast through them, fucking walk out the front door. I'm running across the parking lot. I get him in my fucking truck. I go to start it up. And Tinsley's, 3 months old in the fucking back seat.
Yeah.
I look in my rearview mirror and I see this chick in high heels and a dress running full speed across the gravel parking lot. And all
human beings are crazy, dude.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. If I didn't have Tinsley with me, I'd just fucking leave. But they know all my information. They know who I am.
Yeah.
So maybe I should just stop. I at least have him. Now they have to try and get him back out of my truck and get me to put him back in the cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I stop. I let the girl come up to my window. She's like in a frantic, sir, you can't just take dogs out of the pound.
You're like,
and
it's
I'm like,
my
it's
dog.
my fucking dog. She's like, yeah, but you got to fill out the paperwork and stuff. And I go, look, I got a newborn daughter in the back seat. Is there any way you could just go bring the paperwork out to me? And she goes, well, it's my first day. This is my first day. And I go,
she's chasing people down on day
her
one.
first day.
Poor
and
girl.
I go, oh, well, can you go ask your manager and come back? And she's like, yeah, I could go do that. I go, okay.
See
She
ya.
turns around, goes inside. I fucking took off. And from that day on, I was like, Militia, we can't go back there, dude. I can't. And he never did. He never did. He fucking died. Never went back.
It's fucking rad, dude. Dude, we were talking about just how the fucking youth these days, how everything is just so watered down. And it made me think about what we were talking about earlier, how like, dude, in the 50s, shooting was like a high school elective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You go to fucking math and English, and then you'd go to the range and shoot guns.
Fuck yeah.
You know? And like, how many people were getting fucking shot back then? None of them, dude. And so my kids are in private school now, and
did you know this?
they had
The archery? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about that, but yeah, my daughter, one of her electives, and this is Reagan, she's 9 years old, is archery.
Really?
And so every
sick.
every Wednesday at school, she brings her compound bow, and bro, it's not some dorky little fucking bow that you bought at Target.
Yeah.
This thing will fucking kill a human being.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And all the kids bring their fucking bows and get on the range, and they fucking shoot for a couple hours on Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, how is that outside of the realm of reasonableness now? And so they did Secret Santa at the school, and everybody everybody draws a name, and then whoever you drew that name, you buy that person a little present for Christmas.
Okay.
And the kid that Siler drew his name, she's like, I think he'd like a knife from Cabela's. And I'm like, okay, well, Siler, you've already been on the verge of being suspended once because when she was at public school, she brought her little pocket knife to school one time. Dude, she's like 9.
Yeah.
And your daughter brought a pocket knife to school. And like, dude, they were talking about expelling her. It was like a big deal, right?
Nathan, Nathan. Nathan got in trouble at public school for looking. He was talking about guns while looking at a book about tanks. So he's talking about the gun attached to the tank, but the book is one he got from the school library. So it's like,
bro,
wait, what?
They're
So you checked him out a book about army tanks, and now we're in the principal's office because he's talking about the guns on the tank in the book from your library.
Since when did guns become this thing that like everyone's freaked out about? Or guns or knives or weapons. And so I was like, okay, so before we buy this kid a knife, let's check with the school and make sure, because you're not in public school anymore. You're not surrounded by those pussy freaks.
Yeah.
But it's still a school. So we touch base with the school, and they're like, hey, you can buy him a fucking knife. They didn't say fucking because it's a Christian private school.
Of course.
But like, yeah. And Siler told me a bunch of the kids got weapons for Secret Santa. And bro, like
a weapon, a knife doesn't have to only be a weapon.
No, I shouldn't call it a weapon. I should call it a tool.
It's a tool.
Bro,
By the way, I could kill every kid in my kids' classes with my hammer.
Yeah, dude.
So
Greg will kill everyone with his bare fucking hands.
I fucking got a buck knife when I was 5. I lived in Alaska. You know what I mean? Like my dad's like, here, you're 5 years old now. Here's your buck knife.
It's an important tool to fucking have.
Yeah, I bought my 6-year-old got a pocket knife for Christmas.
And so it's like, everybody's so afraid of everything. And that's why our kids are fucking pussies, dude.
Pussies.
And like, so I gave my boys fucking those fucking Smith & Wesson M&P 22s for fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? Bro, they're 17 and 18.
Yeah.
They're not little fucking kids anymore.
Yeah.
They're men. Fucking 17 and 18-year-olds were storming the beaches of Normandy during World War II.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
15-year-olds were lying about their age.
And jumping into Point Salinas. You're like fucking, these are war fighting aged males. And I didn't even get them real AR-15s.
No, that was going to say, and they're 22.
I got them chambered in 22 for a couple reasons. One, they're much cheaper, right?
Yeah.
But two, also for them, Like if I bought them real AR-15s for them to go train for an afternoon, they'd have to spend $100.
Yeah, which for them they don't make. They're young.
They can't. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but being chambered in .22 long rifle, they can go train all day for $30.
Right. And at the end of the day, when they do that, and if shit ever hit the fan, here, throw them one of these.
Exactly. They know how to use it.
Fuck yeah, they know how to use it.
Or maybe you get shot with a .22. That's no fun either, right?
No.
But real AR-15 is really just a .22 Magnum.
Exactly.
You know what I
It
mean?
is, dude. And so I get an Instagram message because Angie shared the picture of the boys, and then I reshared it, right? And I get an Instagram message from this lady, and she goes, "I'm trying," and she wasn't being a cunt, but she came at me like this. She goes, "I'm trying to understand why you thought it was acceptable to buy young men fully automatic assault rifles as a Christmas gift."
Fully automatic.
And I'm like, that's how out of touch people are. They see this picture of a 17 and an 18-year-old man holding an AR-15 chambered in .22, and now I've got them fully automatic weapons as a Christmas gift, right? And it's like...
Did you respond?
I did.
No.
And I said, first of all, those are not fully automatic weapons. Those are training rifles chambered in .22. And she wrote me back and was like nice to me. And she's like, "Thank you for explaining. I can't understand. My way of thinking is very different," or whatever, right? And it's like,
Drop the accusations so you have facts.
well, yeah, but no, that's my point. She wasn't trying to come at me like a fucking crazy cunt.
Yeah.
She was coming at me because people's minds are so polluted now that that's a fully automatic assault rifle.
It's a weapon.
Well, her mind is, what in the right mind would make you think it was acceptable to buy young men fully weapon,
fully automatic assault rifles.
automatic assault rifles? That's where her mind is. And it's like, well, ma'am, I didn't do that, actually.
Yeah, I didn't do that at all.
Right.
But here's the other side of it. If I was fucking a billionaire, they might have got fully automatic assault rifles for Christmas.
That's
You know
the
what I
real
mean?
thing. Is none of your fucking business.
But it's like, dude, we're at a point in time when training, these are no longer kids. I've raised these boys since they were fucking small. They're 17 and 18 now.
They can climb to the top of
Mount
the
Rainier.
fucking tallest mountains around here.
And bro, like, we're at a point in time in history where people see you training the next generation of men on just the basic fundamentals of how firearms work.
Why would you teach them to kill a fish?
And there's something wrong with that, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like, what do you want us to? What is it that we're supposed to be teaching them?
But bro, it made me realize, dude,
Don't even go there, Toby, because I can't teach them that. I don't know how to do that shit.
I went down kind of a rabbit hole in my own head on this because I've realized so many people are lacking teaching young men how to be men.
Yep.
And being a man, there's a lot of things that encompass being a man. I think the young men should know how to use firearms. Okay. You should know how to fucking use a pocket knife and carve a fucking stick into a spear. Just little shit that we've been doing since we were a kid, right? But when you come to the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and Abby listens to this podcast.
Does she?
So,
Shout out, Abby.
So I'm going to talk about her for a second.
Yeah.
But we have this, she's a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
Oh, she's listening to this?
She does.
Oh,
Dude, she's fucking savage, man.
Bro,
I'm
no,
done talking.
bro, no, when Siler told me, she goes, "Kids at my school like your podcast." I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But
Hey,
the thing is,
better this than
hey, I can't change
Kardashians
Here's
or
the
whatever.
thing.
they're
I
listening
can't
to.
change the product that I put out because some parents allow their children to listen to this. This podcast has explicit lyric warnings on it, and you only have to listen to one episode to know that it's probably not child friendly. But I can't change what I put out because some kids listen to this, right?
No.
And so, but when I was told that kids at the school listen to this, I was like, fuck. It kind of it kind of hit me, right? I mean, we were just talking about
I'd
how
be hiding in Alaska,
bro,
right now.
we were just talking about fucking the how powerful it is to make a woman come. But
You want to listen to adult shit, you're gonna get adult stuff, right?
right? But so this girl is 12 or 13 years old, and
Abort.
Bro, any man or woman that is her size, like she's a 13-year-old girl, so she's not big, but she's the size of a 13-year-old girl. Anyone that is her size that is untrained, she will kill you with her bare hands.
Fucking A, she will.
Kill you.
She will.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Like and she's been wrestling since she was 4.
What?
So you got this girl.
Is she 100 pounds? Like 110
pounds?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know fucking adolescent girl weight. She's probably 100 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Bro, she grabs fucking men. Well, I shouldn't say men, but 14-year-old boys that that have 30 pounds on her. She body locks them and dumps them on their head.
Nice.
Makes them cry,
And they,
dude.
bro,
Yes.
like clockwork.
While she's jumping around, waiting for the next
like
round.
clockwork, they all start crying. Bro, she's made 10 kids cry up there
100%. She's made almost every kid in that fucking class cry.
because she body locks them and dumps them on their head. And I've had some people that are like, dude, Abby's really fucking hard on the other kids.
Good.
And I'm like, you know what, dude, that's a lesson that they need to learn.
That means they need to get harder.
That's what I'm saying.
She doesn't need to get softer.
No, and so like I nurture her savageness because I don't want her to feel like I need to turn it down. So I pulled her aside before and been like, hey, when you're going with this person, let's not body lock them and throw them onto the ground. Let's, you know what I mean? And her and I are now developing a relationship where I can fucking kind of work
Right.
with her a little bit.
That person, go ahead, smash. That one,
because she
they
has
suck. Go a little bit lighter.
She has one speed and it's kill.
Yeah, kill.
But so check this out. She threw this kid on his head, and I think he's 14, and he's bigger than her, and he's stronger than her, and he started bawling. And I was like, "Hey, get up, keep fighting." I was like, "You could go sit on the couch and cry, or you could keep fighting." And even though this is a training environment, this is the time to hone your grit and your resolve and your mental toughness. Yeah. You're in a bad spot right now. You don't like how this feels. You could fucking go hide, or you could face it. So he kept fighting, and she kept whooping his ass. Good. And bro, at the end of practice, he was like, and he was like covering. Remember, he was covering his face. I said, "Take your hands off your face. Take your hands off your face. You're okay." That was fucking a rough experience, right? And when he came back, because he came back on the next class.
When I didn't come.
You weren't there, right?
Yeah, I didn't come.
And so I told everybody during lineup, I said, and I won't say his name on the podcast, but I said, "Hey, listen."
Was this at the end of class?
End of class.
Okay.
I said, "You had a real bad day on Monday." I said, "You learned what it's like to lose a fight and get hammered, and there's nothing you could do." And I said, 99% of people have never felt that. And I said, but a large percentage of people that have felt that, they would go run and hide from that. I said, you came back for more. That's what separates you from everybody else. Most people hide from that kind of stuff. I said, you did not enjoy how that felt, and you came back and you're ready to face it again. And I was like, that's what's going to make you a fucking champion. That's what's going to make you a winner. Yep. That's what's going to take you to the next level and separate you from everybody else. And like, I could see it was filling him with pride, right?
Yeah, that's really good.
But it made me think, it's like, dude,
how many people have no pride in their life?
Most people, and this is a 14-year-old kid learning this lesson through our jiu-jitsu program.
Yep.
And then I was thinking like, dude, most adults have never learned what it's like to face adversity, to feel those emotions, and to have your ass kicked by a young woman is something most people can't wrap their head around, right? So there's another kid at their school, right?
Yeah.
And he has been telling Abby and Siler, like, there's no way you guys could beat me in a fight. Impossible. I could beat you guys in a fight in under 10 seconds. And Siler's like, come to the gym then. And he goes, I'll come to the gym. And they've been having this weird back and forth, right?
Yeah.
She said, he keeps saying he's going to come, but then he's kind of reluctant because the other side of that coin is,
I might get my ass kicked.
what if I get beat up by a girl?
Yeah. What if these girls aren't bluffing?
You know?
What if they actually do train?
And so,
like they say they do.
So they asked me, they're like, hey, if he comes to the gym, he has to fight Abby. And I said, you're right. I said, you're right. He does have to fight Abby.
He has to fight both you guys.
Not because I'm here to humiliate you or I'm here to fucking point my finger and say, see, but I kind of am.
Yeah.
Because when you tell a young lady there's a 0% chance you could beat me in a fight, you can't say that to her and not back it up.
Yep.
So I said, all right. And Jenny then, because dude, the private school is a small community, right?
Yeah.
Jenny ended up going out to dinner with the parents
Of that kid.
that kid.
Okay.
And it was unrelated to all of this. It's actually his little sister is friends with Reagan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just by happen chance that they're out to dinner. And they said, we would like him to try jiu-jitsu. And I said, I don't think they know. Oh no. They said, we would like him to try jiu-jitsu, but we understand jiu-jitsu is very similar to what Bruce Lee used to do, right? And I was like, they have no idea. They have no idea what's in store, dude.
Yeah.
You got two young girls, and dude, Siler's a savage too now.
Yeah, yes.
I was like, you got two 12-year-old girls that are going to beat the brakes off of you.
If you haven't trained, these girls they're going to fucking tune you up.
I'm so proud because like, I mean, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since literally any of my fucking kids were even born. But now we've arrived at a place 12 years later where she's finally gotten good.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to push it and cram it down her throat because I was like, I think I'm going to scare her away from it if I do that.
Yep.
And she kind of dabbled and then she wasn't interested and she dabbled and she wasn't interested. And then it's been what, a year or two, probably 2 years, year and a half, where the kids have been all in.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
And you take a fucking 12-year-old that trains all the time for 2 fucking years. It's the same with your boy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's scary good now.
Dude.
You know?
He's only 10 years old. He weighs 65
Isn't that
pounds.
crazy?
Is
Dude,
Talon or Vinny?
Vinny.
Vinny.
Bro, he can catch a triangle from anywhere
Really?
and put you out with it.
Dude.
10 years old.
He catches bow and arrows, fucking arm bars. I seen him do Ezekiel chokes. He comes home. He's like, hey, Greg showed me this new choke. It's called an Ezekiel. You ever heard of this?
And you're like, I'm a purple belt, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know this. He goes, is it like this? I go, it's just like that. He goes, you can get it from like all angles. Can I get it from the back? And I go, yeah, but it can't be your top one. It's going to be the one on the arm. He goes, the one that I don't normally choke with. He goes, yeah.
He's already putting it all together,
He
dude.
goes, so I can trick them? And I go, yeah. I go, trick them like you're going to get their bow and arrow or the rear naked and then shove the other one through. And he's like, and then he comes home and he's like, I got an Ezekiel from the back like you showed me. I'm like, dude, this fucking kid, by the time he's 15 years old.
Bro, and I tell the parents that have kids that train, like Logan Campbell.
Yeah.
I told Christy, I said, Josh might want to start hitting the mats.
Yeah.
And that's her husband, right?
Yeah.
And because and Josh was like a fucking standout wrestler and he's a tough fucking man.
savage.
He's a tough fucking man.
I rolled with him. Yeah.
But it's like, bro, your children cannot become better fighters than you while they live under your roof.
No.
So, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, as it sits, and I'm not going to say any names, but I have some 16, 17-year-olds that would maul their fucking dads. Maul them.
Yep.
Could butt fuck them if they wanted to.
They would. At 16 years old, they could say.
And bro, these kids, some of these kids, when I put my hands on them, obviously, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for fucking 20 years now. I have the answer to them, but they even surprise me.
Yeah.
It's like, what the this is a real fight. This is hard for me to smash this kid.
They're aggressive as fuck.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like they don't pussyfoot around.
The last roll I had
Crazy stamina too. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Just go hard, and you're
For a
trying
long
to catch
time.
a break. Yeah.
And dude, the last roll I had with fucking Logan, and he just turned 13 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you don't get training rolls with me anymore. You get real rolls. He's my size now all of a sudden. And he's 13 and he's a gray belt and he's been training with me for a couple years now.
Yep.
And bro, it was like overnight. He went from this fucking like gangly little kid to feeling like I'm fighting a man.
Yeah, he's like turning into a man with man jujitsu. And it's like, what the fuck? You were this little boy that we used to dink around. Yeah. And now I like, let you pass my guard and you're fucking choking me out.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. And these parents, and good on the parents, like Eric Todd's a good example, that watched their, they came to the gym to enroll their children.
Does he have a mustache?
No.
Okay.
He came to the gym to enroll his child. His child started doing jiu-jitsu with us and still does. And then he's like, man, I need to know this too. And we have a handful of dads that have done that. And I fucking love that story because you can't watch what we're doing up there and put your kids through that if you're not willing to do it yourself.
No.
I don't like that. Like, I shouldn't say I don't like that. Like, I have tons of kids whose parents don't train. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But I should give them a fucking warning. Your child in 3 years will be able to hold you down and kill you if he wants to.
Vinny's brought it up.
Yeah.
About his real dad.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said, hey, Tyler, do you think it would be okay for my real dad to come to jiu-jitsu?
100%.
And I said 100%. He goes, because the thing is, I don't think my real dad really knows what jiu-jitsu is. Because when I talk to him, he doesn't seem like, he asked me, how is it? But he's like, Vinny wants to talk to him. Oh, I got a back mounted triangle. And then he got out and I got him in this position.
It's like my kids talking to me about Minecraft. I'm
exactly.
Like,
and you don't know. And he's like, I can tell my dad doesn't know what jiu-jitsu is. He knows that I do jiu-jitsu and I'm getting better at it, but he doesn't actually know what jiu-jitsu is.
Well, bro, and a lot of parents, whose phone keeps beeping? Put that shit on silent. Is it me?
No,
it's
Tobin.
Dude, they don't realize, I think a lot of parents don't realize it's fucking real. This isn't your fucking Taekwondo class that's full of 7-year-olds in karate where we're doing fucking katas and shit.
They're probably equating it to the YMCA.
That's what I'm saying.
If they're not sitting up there watching.
But even the ones that do watch, because bro, I have parents that are like, I'll have one of my savage kids like Jet, who's 9, and he's one of the hardest workers in the room, and he'll have a kid mounted. And I'll hear the other kids' parents, push him off you.
Push him off.
Get him off you. Why are you? Get him off you. Get him off of you.
Thanks, coach.
Get him off you.
Stand up.
Thanks, coach. I'm trying.
Hey, stand up.
Stand up.
What? Don't let him grab your arm. Don't let him grab your arm. And it's like, this is what people don't understand. When 2 people are of comparable size and one person has better jiu-jitsu than you, I will be on top of you and I will grab your arm and there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. And it's only happened one time because this dad was going, just stand up, stand up. And the kid looks over and goes, I can't. And he goes, yes, you can. And they got in this weird argument. And I said, Dad, get on the mat. Let's go. And I mounted him.
In the middle of kids' class.
In the middle of kids' class. And I said, dude, just get up. And then I just I like got a low mount and I like crossed my legs under his and I got a cross face. And
Are you fucking serious?
Oh, bro.
Yes, dude, smash him for 3 minutes.
I smashed him.
Are you fucking serious?
Smashed
3 minutes.
And
When did this happen?
I don't know, 4 months ago or something.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
And it's
you
like,
just called some fucking dad out and beat his ass?
yeah, dude.
Literally, it wasn't even his class. I'm teaching with Craig.
I was sitting behind my desk.
Yes.
Oh, you weren't even on the mat.
No, but
Oh
I
my God.
was getting super frustrated.
All of a sudden, I look over and I see Greg get up, take his shit off, point at this dad, and go, "You on the mat."
Tell me
set
he
the
was
clock for 3 minutes. He set up fucking cones and was like, "We're doing it right here while the kids are fucking training their class."
Yes.
I'm gonna show you.
Fuck yeah.
You can't-
Tell me he was some tough guy in like a grunt style t-shirt.
No, dude, here's the thing.
No, he's
I
cool.
like the
He's
guy.
a cool guy. He's a
I
cool
like
guy.
the guy.
But
He's a cool
he just
guy.
had to show him.
But he didn't understand that when you have a superior grappler on top of you,
Yeah. You're fucked.
you're fucked, man. That's what makes jiu-jitsu so powerful. There is not an answer.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're a white belt and a dude's a purple belt and he has you mounted, you don't have an answer.
Oh, I know. Tyler has sat on top of me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to know that when you are out skilled, You better pack a fucking lunch, dude. And
there's just nothing you can do. That like you just aren't skilled enough to get out of it.
It would be like if you threw me a basketball and said, dude, go play 1-on-1 with some fucking collegiate basketball player or even a high school basketball player. It's like, I'm so outside of my fucking realm and my capabilities. There's nothing that I could do to have success in that moment.
No.
Dude, just dribble the ball and throw it in the hoop. Dude, just dribble the ball and throw it in the hoop.
Greg Anderson, travel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's what those parents are saying. Just dribble the ball and throw it in the hoop.
Yeah.
Like it's some simple solution. It's not a simple solution. It's hundreds and hundreds of hours of work to be able to maintain that position. And your kid can't get out of it.
Your kid has 100 more hours than you do.
And then they start to act disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, there's parents that act disappointed.
That
and
their
it's
kid's
like
stuck.
And bro, one of them is like a brand new kids. The two brothers that are brand new.
Yeah.
Their parents are on them. And it's like, dude, they've been here for one day. Well, another good example is did you meet Eli?
Yeah.
He's a brand new kid. He's like 20, I think.
Oh.
And he is an athletic fucking savage.
In gi class?
And so he's come to a couple classes.
Or no gi.
And he hit me up on Instagram and he has aspirations to be in special operations someday, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell too much of his story on the air.
He's already 20?
He's 20 right now.
Okay. No, I don't think I've met him yet.
And so he goes, dude, I want to be in special operations someday. You live in Lake Stevens. You walk that path. I'd like to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And so I said, bro, if you want to fucking be in special operations, you need to be a savage and you need to be trained in jiu-jitsu. I'll see you tonight at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
He showed up.
Word.
And bro, he's given people some fucking problems with no training
Fuck yeah.
because he has an indomitable will.
He wants to win.
He got his ass kicked by Bob.
Yeah. Okay. That's not surprising.
Just like everybody gets their ass kicked by Bob, right?
Yeah.
And he's fucking like looking at the mat afterwards. He's frustrated and he's just like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, what's going through your head right now? And he goes, I hate losing. He goes, I don't lose. And I said, bro, if you came here on your second night of jiu-jitsu and had success against Bob,
We'd be calling Dana White.
what would we be doing here? Why would you want to come here? Why would you want to invest your time on my mats if you could come here and you could beat people that are some of my most savage guys in the room? And he goes, and that's why I like this kid. He goes, what you're saying makes sense and I understand it.
But I don't like it.
But I hate losing still.
Yeah, fuck yes. I love it.
Yeah.
That's the attitude though, right?
Yeah.
That's
No, that is
me.
It. Yeah, that's it.
I came and got my ass beat by two
Two old people.
two old people. And
Well, but bro, I think that's an important story to tell though, because I mean, he's in his 50s. He has a dad gut. And you in your mind were like, I'm going to do whatever I want to this guy. And it didn't go that way.
it wasn't even that I was going to do whatever I want. It was that I was going to shatter his hip. That's all I could think.
You're like,
what?
why am I training with this
He's
old
like,
man?
hey, in my head, grandpa is at jiu-jitsu.
He's a literal.
I got to take it easy on him.
He's a literal grandpa now.
Yep. He literally
Who's
is.
this?
We'll tell you.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And at the time, I don't know jiu-jitsu. I've been in 100 fucking street fights.
Yeah.
I know what I'm all about. I'm probably the toughest motherfucker in this room. And grandpa wants to fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm going to break grandpa's hip. So I got to be nice.
Yep.
And we'll just see how this goes.
Yeah.
So we slap hands. We fucking bump fists.
And he beat your
He
ass.
fucking grabbed me by my lapel and ripped me down and grabbed a cross collar and choked me out standing up in about 10 seconds. And I was like, what the fuck?
What happened?
Dude, grandpa's not fucking around. I've never had
Was he a blue belt already?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, blue belt jiu-jitsu versus day one jiu-jitsu. Have fun.
Have fun. And not only that, it was the way that he grabbed me. It was the what, like
when you know someone is strong.
the way he grabbed my collar and like ripped me down, and it broke my posture down, and he got the other, like it was so aggressive and so strong, and like I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think no, not very many people expect in jiu-jitsu. Like I was just telling Vanessa, this is same topic, but a little off topic. Evan, young Ev.
Yeah.
He sent me Happy New Year's little thing on Instagram. And I was telling Vanessa, I go, I'm glad that he reached out because he's having some rough times with his mom.
Mhm.
And I told him, I said, hey, you know, my fucking parents died when I was your age under different circumstances, but
Yeah, you've walked that path.
I've walked that path. You want to fucking talk to me? You want to go get lunch? We can't go to the bar. You're not old enough, but we can go walk on the beach and eat popcorn or whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. And so when we were talking, I was like, you know, in the last year, this kid has transformed
From an incapable dork.
I know what you're talking about.
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, Evan, for calling you a dork.
I'm gonna fucking say,
But bro, yeah, you didn't have confidence, you didn't have abilities, you weren't a good athlete,
Nope.
and now
You're a fucking savage young man.
fighting you in a parking lot would be a problem.
Would be a fucking problem.
I don't want to fight you on concrete.
Nope. Nope.
You know?
Nope. And I remember his first day, or maybe it was the second or third, but it was one of those very, at least first week. And me and him were rolling. And he was there with his dad. And he had grabbed my collar. And it was like as if my grandma went to catch a butterfly.
Yeah.
Like this most limp dick fucking grab with two fingers. And I remember you walked over and you were like,
Did I say the Boucher saying?
this is what you said to him. Hey, two things. When you grab a fucking collar, you need to grab onto it like you're one-handed hanging off a fucking bridge. Like your life
to fucking depends on
that's it. When you get that fucking collar. And the other thing, if you're going against Tyler, you're not going to fucking hurt this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to go against this guy. Like
wanna kill him.
You want to fucking kill him because grabbing him like that is not going to work. And I remember it must have stuck in his head because from that day on, he would at least, you know, technique's one thing that just takes time, but grabbing harder,
The choice to be aggressive.
that choice to be aggressive. And now if you're not a fucking blue belt, purple belt, you haven't been training for 3 years plus,
Bro, he fucks dudes up.
dude, he fucks dudes up. And I'm like,
Is this
hell
young
yeah.
Evan who's got a bunch
Yeah.
of pimples and
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, he's going. He's not done with puberty yet,
No.
and he fucks dudes
He
up.
fucks dudes up, dude. And the best thing about it is the other day when we were in rotation and you were like, Tyler, fucking put it on him or whatever. And I did. I put him down, belly down, flat, and rear naked choked him with the fucking gi on. That is about, at least in my opinion, the most
Bully ass move.
bully ass move. And on one hand, when I'm doing it, I feel bad. I love Evan, right? He's a young kid. He's cool.
Trains his ass
he trains
off.
his ass off. I know that sucks. On the other hand, he told me he's been practicing wrestling or training wrestling. I don't know I think at the high school.
Yeah.
And all I can think is
And he's winning already.
that all I can think is this. If this kid comes here and someone like me, a 33-year-old fucking purple belt, is putting your ass through the ringer, I'm going 100% on you, and it sucks. There's no fucking way some pussy ass 16-year-old kid at high school is gonna put it on you the way that we put it on you.
Bro, I actually have a lot of pride around this because we're a jiu-jitsu academy, but we train wrestling and every single round starts on your feet.
Yep.
So if you don't have takedowns and you can't wrestle, you don't have jiu-jitsu. And that's a thing from Joao, from like my lineage. He used to say that if you don't have takedowns, you don't have jiu-jitsu. Duh, right? Like that seems pretty common sense approach, but there's a lot of jiu-jitsu that neglects their wrestling. And so this kid came into us knowing no wrestling, no jiu-jitsu. He's been with us for a year now. And then he went and signed up at his high school wrestling team and he's fucking destroying because of what has come from us.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, his wrestling coaches are fine-tuning him, and they're very competent, and I guess they're some of the greatest coaches around.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's going to be such a problem soon,
Yeah.
you know?
It's cool. Yeah. I'd way rather have that to know that the 16, 17-year-old kids coming up right now are savage motherfuckers compared to a bunch of fucking cuckolding sodomites who can't wait to get a hold of, you know, some
Bro, like,
rainbow dildo or some
I
shit.
fucking,
Fuck, dude.
obviously me being the fucking gym owner and the head instructor, I pride myself on, if I have to, I can pour it on almost anyone. You know who my nemesis is at the gym, and it's Daniel.
Yeah.
And Daniel doesn't think he can beat me. Maybe I have the mental edge on him or something. But when me and Daniel go 100%, it's a fucking coin toss. And not only is it a coin toss, but I better pack a fucking lunch.
Dude, Daniel beats me every time.
Bro, it's gnarly, right? But the thing is, it's like, I'm 41. I can still hang or beat everybody.
Yep.
And I look at my fucking mat room and I got fucking Angel and Skylar and Evan and all these young murderers. Bro, in 5 years, I'm fucked, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Dude, these kids are 20 years old
I'll be
and
40.
they are all
I'll be
about
40.
training.
I'll be 46 and they'll all be fucking 23. Dude, Skylar is already a problem for me.
Dude.
And he's been training a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he had the same, and he wrestled his whole life, right?
Yeah.
So when he came into jiu-jitsu, he's like, very similar to you. He's like, what's this jiu-jitsu stuff? I'll just out wrestle these guys.
Yeah.
And after his first day, I just fucking turned the volume up and smashed him and took his fucking soul. He literally said, this is verbatim. He goes, this is what I do now. I'm like,
Roger that.
Roger that. And he's been there pretty much every day since for a year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's like, you take a good wrestler that has the mentality of this is what I do now. Have fun with that.
Have fun.
And then in 3 more years of this is what I do now, it's like all these kids are going to be purple belts.
Oh my God.
God, dude. And as much as it sucks that I won't be the top dog, we created that.
You get to
That's
be
what
the proud
that's
dad.
what
You know what I'm
want,
saying,
right?
dude?
That's what you
Yeah.
want. You don't want the kids to grow up to be
And
worse.
it would be
No.
it would be an indictment of you if at the point your gym has been open for 20 years, you still just have a bunch of middle and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
no,
still
no,
have your
yeah.
new students.
No, a
But
lot.
If nobody came out of Electric North going like, who the fuck is this guy and where did he come from? Like, what kind of business model would that really be?
A lot of martial arts instructors, they like to trick their students into thinking that they're this mythological thing. That's why that dim muck and the death touch, and you'll see dudes do this dumb shit. Their students will just fall over,
The
you
guy
know?
on Instagram who wears like the tight
Detroit urban survival.
Oh my
That's what I'm
God.
saying, right?
Oh my God.
I teach my guys the opposite. And I tell guys like these young and up and comers, I'm like, I know you want to fucking smash me, but you're never going to ever. But it's with sarcasm, right? They understand.
Yeah.
And they're already like, I'm fucking coming for you, coach. And I was like, I wouldn't want it any other way, dude. And it's crazy because I've seen such a shift in these young men in a year that I know, dude. Like, and it's not only father time. I'm only 41. I'm not that old. But the rate that they're learning versus the rate that I'm learning, because I'm the coach. So I'm the one overseeing training.
Yeah,
I'm not in the lion's den with them anymore. I used to coach in that manner where every rotation training, every drilling, every Toriando pass, I'd put 2 minutes on and I'd grab a partner and I'm in it with them, right? And I've slowed down and now I've found that I can run a better gym observing more than being in with the trenches with them.
Of course.
And it's just the
That's how it is.
It's how it is,
Yeah.
right? And now I'm seeing the gap closing. And it's like, fuck, dude. This is inevitable. But think about it.
But not all like teaching, like as rewinding the clock about an hour, where I was saying it's really hard once I start thinking about how I'm going to teach shooting, even though I know how to shoot well. So it goes back to if you're creating all these successful athletes, then what you're doing is good. And just because they're going to come up and be 20, a 23-year-old is not ready to teach and coach.
No.
So they might be fucking badasses on the mat, but being able to teach it is a whole nother level of skill.
Bro, teaching jiu-jitsu over the last 24 months has been the most rewarding aspect of anything I've done with jiu-jitsu. Because I took 17 years or whatever and built a skill set. And now the proof is in the pudding. I have learned how to effectively pass that on to another human being.
Yeah.
Because we have people
That's
that
hard. It's really hard when you start because it's something I would never have thought about until I started thinking, okay, how am I going to teach this beginner class? Oh shit. I don't know how to teach.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking skill. Like it's its own thing. If you can successfully take your experience and your knowledge and impart that on another person, like that in itself is its own master level, like master skill level.
Bro, I mean, that's why I've started Guns and Geese with Lappin. And we've talked about this before, is like, we know a million good shooters.
Yeah.
But when you meet a good shooter that can fucking articulate every last detail of what he's doing to make him a good shooter on the spot, and then, hey, I'll demo it right now for you guys. So watch this. And he's doing exactly what he said while holding groups like this.
Yep.
And it's like, that is a different thing. And it doesn't matter if it's jiu-jitsu or if it's fucking shooting or it's anything. The ability to perform and the ability to teach are very different.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot that crosses over and that one feeds the other. But when you can effectively teach something, that's when you're the master.
Yes.
And that's when I looked at him. I told him, and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu too now. But I was like, you're a black belt on the range.
Yeah.
You know, because that is where, and I've watched him. I mean, we've ran 3 different Guns and Geese camps now. You take someone that knows nothing, and by the time they leave, and it's only one weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm very upfront. You can't become good at anything in a weekend.
2 days or 3 days?
3 days.
Okay.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But what you can do is you can give them the foundation to build off of. I've never seen anything like it, dude. So it's fucking cool, man. But what you're going to find is as you start to become an instructor and you're running people through these courses that we both know you're already proficient at,
right?
You're going to become exponentially better.
Oh, just already.
Yeah.
Like I have tightened so many things up in the last couple of weeks just because I'm paying attention to them.
You
now.
do a lot of things that you're not even cognizant of.
Exactly.
And then once you become cognizant of it, it helps build you as a complete shooter as well.
Yeah.
It's fucking rad, dude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. We fucking just went off for 2 hours and 10 minutes, dude.
Fuck yeah.
So,
Hang on. I got to call Greg out on
call me
one
out,
thing
dude.
that I've seen, because every fucking podcast you sit down and you go, in the first 10 minutes, he goes, hey, this card holds 12 hours of data. and then at some point he goes, well, fuck, man. It's been an hour and 45 minutes.
So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, okay? If you hear me say to someone, hey, you know what? We're at an hour and 30 minutes, and it's probably a good time to wrap it up. It's because...
he's got other shit to do.
Not that I got other shit to do. I'm an energy person. I'm feeling their vibes. Yeah. And as soon as I feel someone's vibrations lower,
down, like, all right,
or if there's any lull, if like, so what else do you got to say? It's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because authentic conversations should flow. They should be fun. You should be bouncing your energy back and forth. Yeah. And as soon as that starts to turn down a little bit, and I've only had, I guess I'm fortunate. I've only had a couple guests when I'm like, me and this dude don't vibe very well.
Yeah.
It's probably time to get out of here. Because I want I'd rather have my listeners have an hour of this guy where it's like, okay, you can tell that this isn't the best energy back and forth, rather than just let it go on and on and on, right? Yeah. But as a rule of thumb, I try and wrap it up
2 hours
at about 2 hours,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then if I'm just hammered and being ridiculous, like I was in New Orleans the other day, we went for 3 hours. But I'll tell you this, dude. And it's funny because I try and be my own biggest critic. I listen to each episode as a consumer.
Yeah.
So I'll put it on in my car. And usually it's because my kids are in private school, so there's no bus. I have to drive them back and forth every day. Yeah. That episode of where we were drunk and being ridiculous, I didn't enjoy it very much.
Oh, really?
But I got tons of positive feedback from it. A lot of other people did like it, you know?
No,
I thought it was fucking
hilarious. That's what I'm saying.
When,
so it's
when
like
other Greg was reading
your kid's book.
Mitch's version.
Mitch's version of the kid's book read by other Greg.
Yeah.
Oh, I was fucking dying.
And I shouldn't say I didn't enjoy like the content, because those are some of my best friends. We always have a good time together. But it was 4 people, and I felt like we were stepping on each other's dicks too much.
A little bit, but it wasn't bad.
And as a consumer, when it sounds chaotic, I'm critical of that, you know?
It was only bad at the beginning for a short period of time. Because there was a time where I was like, fuck, this is going to be just like another Joe Rogan when he has his like
all of his friends over.
Fight card or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but you guys got it. You said something or
found the groove.
Yeah.
Kinda?
After that, it was pretty good. Everyone.
Well, fuck. As you're trying to wrap it up, have you guys listened to the most recent two Joe Rogan interviews?
So he had the inventor of the MNRA.
Yes, and another guy named
Which is
John.
Dr. Robert Malone.
I haven't listened to it yet though, but that's definitely in the queue.
It's everybody needs to go listen to it.
Dude, Rogan's starting to put on the right people.
But dude, Rogan, I fucking love that guy because so few people, and I actually fucking talked to Cam Haines about this literally yesterday because we talk a little bit on Instagram, you know, because Cam Haines has a huge following too.
Yep.
But Cam Haines consistently puts out what he perceives to be the truth, right? You can be on whatever side of the spectrum you want, right? But he says what he believes to be true.
Yeah.
So many people that have built these big followings or that are in the spotlight tiptoe around stuff because, well, they don't want people fucking upset with them or it might hurt sponsorships or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You got a handful of guys that fucking are in the spotlight that don't give a fuck because they believe it's important to stand for what's right. And seeing Rogan leading that charge, dude, Rogan could fucking disappear tomorrow with $200 million or whatever and fucking live like a king. He doesn't owe anybody fucking anything.
Yep.
He could do literally whatever he wants. And he's choosing to spend his time and energy to try and put the truth out there. Now, when people are like, oh, Dr. Peter McCullough's a cuck and he's crazy and he got his medical license this or whatever. Everybody wants to hate, right?
Only the people who fucking love and suck the dick of Rockefeller medicine.
But bro, the fact that Rogan would use his platform that in my opinion is now probably the biggest platform in media.
Yes.
Because you can take the other media platforms, you can take your CNN, your Fox News that are obviously
corrupted.
They're there to fucking support their team, right?
Yeah. Bought and paid for.
Rogan
it's
is
no longer
there.
media.
Rogan
It's
is there, in my opinion, to support the truth.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you have your fucking buddies always on and everything's in line with your beliefs. He'll fucking challenge his own beliefs.
Dude, look
He'll
at what's that fucker's name? Shangde Jupa or whatever.
Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah.
Dude,
He fucking
CNN
straight
doctors.
up said, hey,
give 3 hours of what you think the truth
the
is.
reversal from that guy. Oh no, what he admitted to Rogan, and then immediately 24 hours later, like recanted on CNN, was like, dude, you're such a bitch.
Yeah, dude.
You're such a fucking bought and paid for obvious bitch.
that's it.
I love
it's crazy
it though, man.
to me that people won't like. How many
CNN
people won't call him out on that?
CNN is dead.
It's dead.
Except they're still out there.
No, but I mean, bro. Bro.
For as long as we live, there will be people who say everything on CNN is true. And
Yes,
everything on
that's-
Fox is a lie. And there will be people who say everything on Fox is true.
Yeah.
And everything on CNN is
And
a
that's
lie.
why I'm saying. That's
And
why I love.
That's why we're here.
That's why people
we're
need
here.
to fucking
That's
look
why we need more
history.
Rogans.
And,
That's
like,
why.
this always goes back to Operation Mockingbird. Go find out who fucking owns, funds, hold the stock shares within Fox, within CNN, within MSNBC. And you'll see, like,
the same person.
it's the same fucking people.
I just hope that the fucking powers to be don't take too much of a disliking to Rogan spreading the truth, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Could-
No, that's it.
Because that
And
motherfucker,
I'm concerned about him.
because that motherfucker,
He's too big.
and he's spreading truth for no
uncomfortable
agenda.
truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for no agenda, for no self, like he's not hoping to gain anything out of it. He literally wants to give human beings around the planet different perspectives so then they can listen to what's being said and say, hey, you know, I haven't thought about that. Or this doctor said this and then that doctor said that. What do I think the truth is? And actually apply some critical thinking and draw conclusions instead of being led around like fucking sheep. And bro, that fucking scares the shit out of the establishment.
100%, dude.
Yes.
You know?
Well,
Anyone who has honor, who has integrity, who has morale, who is just willing to essentially find the truth, even if the truth is as worse as we could ever imagine, the truth is the answer, right? You cannot fix a problem regardless of what it is, whether it's your car, your relationship, your fucking jiu-jitsu. You cannot fix the problem
Without the truth.
You must find the real problem in order to get a real solution. And that's something that we were just talking about.
yes.
About the silver lining and all this.
Yeah.
COVID-19.
You're trying to cut it off.
No.
We can wrap this right back up. We're going now. We're going now.
Back up. No.
Before we go into that though, I want to say because you've been on the podcast a couple times and we even said let's have a fun, lighthearted conversation, have drinks and talk shit tonight. Right.
Yeah.
But you've talked about all the New World Order, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all these people that are doing this shit. Right.
Yep.
But one thing that you always say to me, and this is what gives you validity, is you're like, Greg, the truth of all this is I might be wrong.
100%.
And I'm okay saying that. I've read books. I've done a lot of research. I've listened to a lot of different people speak of this. I've listened to podcasts. I have what I believe to be a pretty good understanding, but at the end of the day, you can't be 100% on things.
Because I haven't been there. I haven't met these people. I haven't talked to them in person. I don't get to have firsthand
But it's
experience.
that attitude and it's that perception that keeps you in a grounded realm, because you're not on anybody's team. You're not a cheerleader, rah, rah, rah.
No.
You're seeking the truth.
That's it. Yeah. And it's fucked because there's been people who I really loved who have found out or what, in my opinion, what I found out is not on the right team. And then there's other people who I thought, for instance, I thought the author of Harry Potter, her name's J.K. Rowling, is another fucking, Luciferian Satanist. And then I've been looking because my grandma just bought the kids the fucking set, right? And I'm like, come on, grandma. Well, then I went home and I'm like, wait a minute. I think I remember reading some shit about J.K. Rowling talking mad shit about the transgender fucking movement. Not that I have a problem if you're transgender. If you want to get as weird as you want at home,
no, I think what she spoke out about boys being girls competing in girls' sports.
Yeah, silliness.
It wasn't like a highly controversial. It was controversial, but it shouldn't be controversial because all she's saying is boys shouldn't be able to compete as girls.
Yeah, that's controversial. Dude.
If you say the only thing Joe Rogan said that was anti-transgender is I don't think men should be beating the fuck out of women in a locked cage. And even he is getting.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's totally okay for dudes who have cocks to beat the fuck out of women if they call their name Elizabeth.
Because that day they felt like a woman.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude?
Unbelievable.
No.
And who pays for that should be like a U.S. Marshal sting. Hey, we're going to put on a pay-per-view where a dude pretends he's a girl and fights a girl.
And then he goes to jail.
Everybody who pays for that pay-per-view
goes to jail.
Fuck yeah. You fucking go pick them up at their house and just put their ass in jail.
And bro, that's why I love Dana White. People can say whatever the fuck they want about Dana White, but he's another one. The words that are coming out of his mouth are 100% congruent with his heart.
Yep.
And he's like, you will never see that shit in the UFC, dude. And it's
yeah.
Of course that should be the answer.
We had a girl come out for football when I was a senior. And so you go through, it's 2 weeks of no pad practice. Did you play
soccer?
No, football.
Yes.
American football.
Yep.
So, you do the first couple weeks of no pads.
Yep.
And then you put on the pads and you do the Omaha drill.
Not me. I just played pads my whole life.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
No, yes, I do.
I'm kidding.
No. I know. I'm just saying, for me, I always had pads. I never did no pads.
Oh, high school rule. I think state rules are high schools had to go it wasn't because the coaches were being nice. The last thing the coaches were doing was being nice.
I went from 4th grade to 10th grade, but in 9th and 10th grade, I was in a private league.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
whatever. Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, you put on the pads and you go Omaha drill,
mm-hmm.
and it was I hope I don't get matched up against this girl.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be that guy.
That just smashes her.
Dude,
But at the
you're
same
wrong.
time-
You're wrong.
Yeah.
We had a girl on our team, and me and
But-
my best friend
but so
Josh,
she got
we
smashed.
fucked her up.
Oh,
We did not want her on our team, dude. We gave her a pure first period.
oh God.
Dude, she
the
bled all over the fucking place.
Internal bleeding is not a period.
Dude, it laughed. No, she never came back,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
which
Like,
is fucked up now.
the first
but at the
day of
time,
pads,
it was like,
she got fucking smashed and she never came back.
Mhm.
And it's like, dude, you just kind of felt bad. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, we showed her. It was like,
Well-
what do we like?
Well, of
what-
course you feel bad because you're raised by a man
That's
and you
it.
hold
For
man,
us, it
you
was-
hold masculine values. Like since the time we were fucking children, it's like you protect women. You don't hurt them.
100%. And the
You know
only
what I
reason
mean?
why we went hard on this girl was because she, instead of being like the girl on the team, she wanted to be the toughest guy on the team.
Yeah.
And I guess whether you're man or woman, if you want to be the toughest on the team, then you have to go against the other men or women who think they're the
Yeah.
toughest on the team. And so we smashed. And granted, we're fucking 14 years old. So
Yeah, not a lot of great judgment.
no, now it's different, right? With wife and little girls and Greg and jiu-jitsu and all the people and women and children and with what's going on. It's like, it's our obligation no matter what. Like we said.
your wife brought us a tray of coffee.
I know, it's
I call
fucking
it,
rad, dude.
Fucking amazing.
So let me ask
Sorry.
you this.
Hold on though. I want to say one more thing about that because you, by saying that, hey, this is what I believe, but it's not an absolute, right?
On the conspiracy shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to understand that like there are no absolutes.
Nothing.
And as soon as you are part of a team that tells you this is an absolute, you need to take a step back and be like, why are they trying to teach absolutes?
Yeah.
Because in this world, everything is subject to change, everything's subject to interpretation. And I always go back to jiu-jitsu analogies, right? And how often do you hear me in the gym when people be like, well, from this position, if they grab you here, shouldn't I be able to do this? And I'll always say there are no absolutes. That might work sometimes. Other times it won't work. Now we have things in jiu-jitsu that are considered fundamentally incorrect, right?
Yep.
Like
Choking from the guard.
choking from the guard. And what have we been seeing for the last couple of weeks?
Well, Daniel likes to fucking choke you when you're inside, when
It's-
he's
yeah,
inside
right?
your guard.
And he's been making it work.
Yeah.
Granted, he is a fucking savage black belt. So he knows all the little nuances. If I lean this far to this direction, I could get swept. If I put my arm too far that direction, I'm getting armbarred. But if I'm right here, I'm going to Ezekiel you from inside of your guard. It doesn't make sense. It seems to be violating principle, but he does it because there are no absolutes.
yeah.
That's it, dude.
That's it.
You know? And that's why like I love the jiu-jitsu analogies for life
Yeah.
because that's everything in life. There are no fucking absolutes, dude.
There isn't. And
The more you believe, or the more you die on those absolutes, the more like cemented you become into these weird, like, it's almost like the reason we can't let go of all this COVID bullshit is people have taken such a hard, like, I believe in masks because of science, damn it.
Bro,
and
this is
now
the,
they're,
yeah, this is the
what-
team they're on.
yeah. So really what they're, it's not so much that they believe in it anymore. It's just that they took such a hard stance on it to begin with that they don't know how to back off of it. And the fucked up thing is that science, the same people that are screaming, follow the science, don't question anything. Fucking science is based in questioning everything.
Yeah, dude.
So if you can't stop and go like, hey, we need to rethink this, you're not following science.
But that's the whole, I always go back, that goes back to like the 1984 mind control shit where the constant
No.
freedom is
The
peace
sun
or-
revolves around the earth. Don't question that.
Don't.
Dude, it's the 20
Didn't they lock Galileo in a fucking dungeon for suggesting that maybe the earth went around the sun?
It's 2021 mind control.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
And like that doctor, I haven't listened to that episode that you suggested yet, but I did see some snippets
of what one?
of the latest Rogan.
Yeah, Robert Malone.
And he's talking
it's-
about
it's-
mind control. He's like, this is mass hypnosis,
dude. And this is not a stupid man.
No.
This is the
No,
leading. This is the leading expert in this field.
He invented the mRNA. He invented the fucking vaccine you guys are all being forced to take.
I was thinking about that.
It's mind control.
He's like, bro,
I swear to God,
connecting you.
I swear to God, I'm in a simulation. Like, I can't even believe all this shit's
gonna hang
real.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It feels like a dream we're gonna wake up from, and we'll be back in the barracks. Like, oh, what's up?
And I was just telling
Like,
him,
Foulke, you were in my dream too.
I dreamt that we were 40 years old and fucking kind of getting a little chubby. And
you brought up me not being on like a team and just wanting to know the truth. And if I'm wrong and you can prove that I'm wrong,
You want that. Yeah.
show me, please.
Yeah.
All I want to know is what's really going on, who really pulls the strings, who really fucking runs the show, and who really controls the world.
Follow the money. Always follow the money.
Follow the money.
Yep.
Okay. So with that being said, me and Foulke, I met him at the fucking burger or the bar before we got here.
I know I didn't see that till well afterwards. I was sad.
We were there for fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But one of the things
But we
I
hashed
told him
all the
is
things
that
out without you.
after this amount of time, a decade of reading these books and podcasts and fucking stories and videos and all this different shit, is that I still get to places, which I'm at, like at this moment, where I'm stuck. And I'm like, even telling Vanessa, like, babe, I have no fucking idea what's going on anymore. There's too much information.
Too much disinformation.
There's too much, whether it's dis or informed, to know where it's all coming from, to know who it's all being funded by, sponsored, campaigned, funneled through, all this shit. It's like, it's just, it reminds me of like pushing all the keys on the keyboard.
Yes.
And fucking button mashing. And your computer screen is just like locking up and freezing and glitching out.
Yeah.
Because what brought it up is what I told you. You have people all the way on the left who think this is random coincidence. The whole COVID-19, just random acts of events.
A bat fell in a cup of soup. All
this randomness. Take your mask, follow science, fucking do whatever. You have in the middle where people, they think that it's bullshit, but they just go along to get along because they got to fucking pay bills and yada, yada, yada. You have people who are learning, who are in between that. Like, I'm going to say, like, you guys, you're not going along to get along anymore. Not that you ever were.
I know what you're saying though. Yeah.
But you guys don't, we'll go back to jiu-jitsu, right? You guys are becoming like a blue belt. Like I said, I'm like purple brown. My brother, middle one, the black pilled one I talk about, he's like a black belt. But it's too much, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Is as we're learning and as you keep going further, then you get to the people like me where it's like, fuck all you guys. It's not about the mask. It's not about the vaccine. It's not about the passport. Those are just symptoms of this fourth industrial revolution. But
hang on. And I want to add in there, for anyone who thinks Tyler's going like way down rabbit holes, you can look up the fourth industrial revolution as sort of diagrammed by the International Monetary Organization.
World Economic Forum.
Okay. So this isn't some bullshit thing he's come up with on his own.
No.
This is something that Klaus Schwab, is that correct?
Yeah.
He's advocating for.
Yeah. Klaus Schwab. Go look up that guy. So with that being said, I'm now at a point where I'm at like a fork in the road. I've brought up this to you guys before, and I think I might have brought it up on the last podcast about me researching into the Civil War and what happened after the Civil War. Because we were all taught in school that the Civil War was about slavery, right? Abolishing slavery. At least that's what I was taught. And what I'm finding out is that we did abolish slavery for the black race. But what we did in return was enslave all of Americans, which is the U.S. corporation.
Under the crown.
Under the crown, right? Which turned us all into commerce or commodity.
Right. So under the Act of 1871,
Yes.
which people can look up. Again, this is a real, just Google it.
Yeah, the 14th Amendment.
So the United States of America became incorporated in England? I'm asking.
I don't know exactly. I know it's between the Vatican, the City of London, which is in England.
Yes.
Well, all these three things, right? The Vatican, which is its own sovereign place
Yeah.
in Rome, of Italy,
Yes.
but it's not Rome, Italy.
It's
It
not.
is
It's
the
not.
Vatican.
It's not even Italy.
It has its own fucking government, its own military.
Yes. Sovereign. It's sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yeah.
The next place, City of London, not London, England. Okay. There is like I don't know if it's 1 square block,
Is
1
that Parliament?
acre. It's just like the Vatican or the DC, but it's in London, England. Okay. Then there's DC, which is
District of Columbia.
right, but
Sovereign.
but it's in Maryland.
Right. Well, no, it's not.
Exactly. Right. It's
Yeah.
not. It's its own place. It has its own rules. There's 3 places on this planet that has its own sovereign world rules. So with that being said, we have the 14th Amendment.
Not to poke hole. Like, does Hong Kong fit in there somehow?
Oh fuck, dude. I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. Because isn't Hong Kong sovereign?
Is it?
I boot. Am I crazy, or is Hong Kong part of Taiwan?
Don't look at me.
No,
dude.
fuck.
Hong
Oh,
Kong's
Jesus.
China, right?
No,
Anyways, go
hang
on.
The Chinese
Anyway.
lay claim to it. That's the
I
whole
don't know.
controversy. Is the
I don't
Chinese say yes, it is. They say no, it's not.
Okay, the only 3 places that I know of are the Vatican, the City of London, and DC.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, hey, shoot Greg a comment. Like I said, this is about the truth. This
Don't
is not
shoot me a
about
comment.
What about Everett?
Go.
Everett, Washington.
Go right to fucking Tyler Stanaway. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, so with that being said, that brings us under the U.S. corporation, the 14th Amendment, making us non-sovereign. We are no longer underneath the American, the Republic of America, the United States of America. Okay, so there's no longer any Americans. Now we are under the United States corporation, which makes us essentially commodity to the corporation. So we have to have all of these things: birth certificates, we have to have social security, and we have to have ships. I've gone over this before. Citizenships, right? We are American citizens now. Okay. American citizens do not have the same rights as Americans. Under these laws, this is very important. I was just talking to Vanessa. I go, as long as we stay underneath a corporation, under the maritime law, we will never, ever be free. We have not been free in this country since prior to 1871. Because prior to 1871, we were in America, the United States of America, which was a republic where we were all sovereign. This is why you could go around in the Wild Wild West and we all had a gun on our hip. And if we had a fucking dispute in the bar,
We just handled it.
if it got so bad where we couldn't handle it with words, we could go outside and draw a line in the sand and may the best fucking man win.
Yeah.
And there was no
Because it was a fight between 2 sovereigns.
exactly.
Yeah.
On the other hand, with being sovereign, there is, like Greg says, there's no free lunch.
No.
Okay? So
Freedom
right now, if you fucking go buy a car and you don't pay on your car or your house, okay, you don't go to prison or get hung in Times Square for not paying your bill.
Yeah.
Right? In fucking common law, you will get hung in Times Square
Because you fucked me over.
you owed a fucking debt. Okay. So if you want to be a rascal, then
Dude, if you want to be a rascal,
if you want to
I'm
be a
throwing
rascal,
sticker,
That's a new
dude.
podcast
Yeah.
shirt. Yeah.
then common law's not for you. But if you do, then stay in the maritime law.
Yeah.
Now this
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
back to where, like I said, I went down this fucking rabbit hole
Yeah.
and I'm at a fork in the road because I've learned about this whole U.S. corporation and all of our words, the English language, and how it's all maritime bullshit. This is why we have to have licenses, we have to have bonds, we have to have permits to do things because we have liberties. This is why we have the Statue of Liberty, not the Statue of Freedom, because freedom is sovereign and liberty is something going back to
It's
maritime
granted to you.
Granted.
law by a captain of a ship.
Dude, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, like, why can't I just go harvest a deer on my land?
Well,
I can't.
You can't.
You can't.
can't.
Have to
It's
pay-
not-
have to
it's
pay
the king's
somebody.
land.
That's right,
Yeah.
because this is the king's
I
land.
have to pay somebody.
So at the end of the day, what this all comes down to is that we are the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire never was destroyed. It rebranded its name, it rebranded itself, and we are it. Okay. And I can go through all of the cities on the East Coast, the 13 colonies. It all started in York, England. We came over here. We created New York. It became the Empire State. It is the fucking empire. Okay. I have the arches in fucking St. Louis. I have the Keystone in Philadelphia. It's all connected from statues to fucking, I have it all.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is back to this fucking maritime U.S. corporation. As long as we stay under that, like I said, we'll never be sovereign again. We will always be a slave to the corporation. There is people on the other side, like QAnon people, who, where I brought up before, QAnon is what I mean, they do tell a lot of truth. Like they bring up the deep state, they bring up the elites, they bring up the pedophilia, they bring up the adrenochrome, they bring up the Moloch and Baphomet worship, they bring up the satanic rituals. They do bring that all out to light, but they do the same thing the Bolsheviks did back in the 1920s of showing you everything that the bad guys are doing and telling you that there's good guys on the inside who are going to save you. And as Greg knows, no one's coming to save you.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with Q. Now, I have some friends and a family member, my aunt, who is very, very into Q. And we and her go back and forth all the time. Because I'm going to say 80% of the time, what she sends me, I wholeheartedly agree with. But 20% of the shit is just like, it just seems fucking outrageous. Like, I don't think it's true. And maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong. But
bro,
she said,
go ahead. And then I'm going to tell you where I'm at on all this stuff.
okay, the Q people who think that Trump, the Q people is this, it's Trump and a group of military inside the military industrial complex
That are coming to save you.
who have known this since John F. Kennedy was assassinated, JFK Jr. and whoever his affiliates were knew that the assassination was bullshit and an inside job, and were going to revenge his father. So when did that happen? In the 60s?
Mhm.
63.
Okay. So since then, 60 years,
Yeah.
there has been a group from the CIA to the FBI to DARPA to every fucking 3-letter agency that you can think of. There is good guys within these facilities, which whether I've ever heard this or not, I would believe that. I don't think that there's only bad people in this world. They believe that they have been on a 60-year plan to take down this cabal. Okay. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
So the idea, the QAnon idea is that it's supposed to come to fruition in the next year or two.
Even sooner.
Next year would be, I believe, 60
Yes,
years since,
because-
I think it was 63 that he was assassinated.
So it would be soon because my aunt just sent me a thing this morning.
But why 60 years?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
why not right fucking now?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to avenge something,
Yeah.
like if someone did something fucked up to me,
I'm on a tomorrow plan.
I think
Yeah.
because
hey,
of
in
how
60
big it
years.
is. Because you couldn't, like I said before, if you went and assassinated Biden right now, it wouldn't fucking, that's like killing one ant in the whole ant
no,
mountain.
we all know he's not in charge of shit.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Is like, because that would be from my perspective on their view. If they were, it would take 60 years to fuck, just like it's taken them thousands of years to try and get transhumanism. So my point is with this, she sends me this thing saying that last night, December 31st, 2021, the U.S. corporation has been abolished, bringing us back to sovereign individuals, okay? The last president under the Republic of the United States of America was Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, okay? We were told one thing about him, and from what I found out is maybe that's not true. But anyways, he would be, I believe, the 16th president. Now they say that Trump is the 17th president. The new White House is now in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And on December 25th, 2021, which would have been Christmas, the NESARA/JASARA Act was activated. Now, most people don't know what NESARA/JASARA Act is, but I have it right here.
Bro, I think these people are clinging to bullshit.
100%.
They're clinging to bullshit on that side, just like they're clinging to bullshit on the other side.
Well, the one thought I had is if you could convince 60%, like think about how many Americans are convinced that COVID is going to kill them. If you could convince 60% of Americans that Trump is the 17th president and the new White House is in Mar-a-Lago, guess what?
It is.
It is.
Bro, that's why. Go ahead and say that. And then I'm going to tell you my piece and then we're wrapping it up. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. This is my podcast.
That's it. So it stands for National Economic Security and Reformation Act. Okay. And the Jasara is the same, but instead of national, it's global. So Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. But when you read like what's in it, it says forgives credit card mortgage and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities, abolishes income tax, abolishes IRS, creates flat rate non-essential new items, only sales tax revenue for government, increases benefits to senior citizens, returns constitutional law, which is God's law, common law. Establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after Nasara's announcement. So 120 days after.
This is what all these motherfuckers are hoping for. It's what they want, and it's what they think is going to happen.
100%.
And I'm here to tell them, as someone that has no fucking dog in the fight, I have no fucking influence. I have nothing that I have the ability to change. The only way things are going to change in this country is by the ballot or by the bullet. We are either going to have everybody in agreement on things to where everybody says, yes, this is what's going to happen. Just like you just said, then it happens. Or we're going to have enough motherfuckers that say, fuck you. And you're going to grab your new Geisley and we're going to fucking change things by the bullet. That's been happening since the beginning of fucking time. But the thing is, we are in a time right now where everybody is so fucking caught up in all of these different what ifs, right?
Yeah.
And they're dedicating their lives to the what ifs, and they're fucking 100%. Their life energy is being fucking taken from them by, oh, this guy said this is going to happen. That guy said this is going to happen. He says you need to have a mask on. He says Trump's the 17th president, and everybody's fucking like following somebody else. And that's why I've arrived at this conclusion. I'm going to be as fit as I can be.
Yep.
I'm going to be as wild as I can be.
Yep.
I'm going to have more fucking capability through fucking firepower, a tribe of people that I trust. We're going to build our fucking land to sustain us if we need to. And we are going to make ourselves a group of people that it doesn't matter what fucking prediction comes true, what prediction doesn't come true, because I can handle my own shit. And it's going to get to a point where if we ever do need to handle our own shit, good. If we don't need to handle our own shit because the world kind of mellows out a little bit, good. If I have to fucking starve and start killing people, good. If my businesses fucking start flourishing and I get super fucking rich, good. Like, we have to build ourselves to a point that whatever fucking direction, I don't care who you are, what your theory is, what your fucking research has led you to believe, that no matter what, I am fucking going to be fine. And I can tell anyone to fuck off, and I can take care of myself, and I can take care of my family. And anything outside of that, dude, I gotta fucking not give it my life energy anymore.
Yeah.
Because over the last fucking 20 months,
but also
I've been sucked fucking dry, dude.
Yeah.
All these
not in the
things you're
good way.
talking about.
No. And that's what they want, right?
Yeah.
They want us to feel defeated, and they want us to be fucking, even if it was against them, like on my view, where it's like spending all this time and energy listening to their fucking books and podcasts.
Bro, this is our life, dude. This is your life.
No.
And if we create something that they can't take away, that's winning, dude.
That's it.
And that's what we're doing right now.
They're not going to get it.
You weren't at the clubhouse the last time we were all there, but Tyler and I had this same conversation where it's like, I don't know which scenario is true or which one's going to play out, but it all leads back to better fucking get ready.
Yeah.
Because one way or another, that it can't not serve you, right? Like, and shit. How do I want to say this? Like it's been fun. Like it feels good. Like all these things that we're doing to get ready for what we don't even know for what, but it feels good. Like
Feels
it's
fucking good.
Dude,
fulfilling.
look at how much
Like, to
we've
go-
learned.
Yeah.
And grown mentally, informationally, wisdom.
And spiritually, dude.
Spiritually in the last fucking 2 years.
Our circle of friends.
Dude.
That alone, dude. I didn't have this fucking 5 years ago.
Neither did I.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No.
It's like,
grinding at a job. And
I was a lone soldier chopping wood, thinking, man, I wish other people knew what I knew.
looking for a hot piece of pussy to bang.
5 years ago, I had one.
Because we
but-
still had that drive. All right. I know you guys want to talk about New World Order for another 20
fuck
minutes.
them.
Greg,
But
and
guess what?
I don't want to.
Greg has to get off so he can text his Freemason buddies.
Yeah. Greg Anderson, 33.
Yeah, exactly.
Top
dude.
of the Freemason
I wasn't joking.
fraternal order here.
Yeah,
Skull and bones.
He's texting him right now.
And on that note, that's a wrap.